As this pitch misses everything and hits the back. 2-2 pitch on the way to Schmidt.
Not much 4-pitch walking done this weekend against the Crawdads. The Dads faced some just terrific pitching over the weekend.
Yeah, the pitching over that southern road trip was really tough for the Crawdads to deal with. Apologize for that, folks. Just getting the internet steady here at Vanden High. The Crawdads have runners on first and second. It's the top of the first. Brome just hit a single on the ground that got past the first baseman, Santander. And here comes Matt King. Matt King hitting .254, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. He's got 2 runners on. Duroff over at second in scoring position. Morris fires here and hits the zone. The count 0-1 to Matt King. The Crawdads come into this game 18-11, 11-6 in CCL North play. The Solano Mudcats in 4th place. They're 5 games behind of Healdsburg, who's in 1st place right now. The Crawdads are a game back of Healdsburg. The Mudcats are 10-16 overall and 9-12 in CCL North play. Pitch here to King, and he hits this on the ground over to the third baseman, Jones, who fires to first for the out. There's 2 away, but both runners able to advance. So now 2 runners in scoring position here for the dangerous bat of Ryan Ellis.
I like the approach. I like the productive out, especially when you know you have Ellis on deck, who's hitting, 400 over the last week. Always puts the bat on the ball, forces the error.
Oh, Ellis hitting .310, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs. Is the shortstop today, and now he's going to step out of the box and get a little pine tar, rub the bat up, wants a better grip on it. Morris, the pitcher, has been vulnerable this summer, has given up a lot of runs, comes in with an ERA over 8. It's at 8.5. This is his 6th start of the summer for the Mudcats. And the first pitch to Ellis misses in, but a good job getting it to it by Trey Topping, the catcher. The defense for the Mudcats, Topping behind the plate. Santander over at first, Hilda over at second, Jones the third baseman, Jared Wood the shortstop. And the outfield from left to right, it's Benavidez, Kenny DeSalle, and Telly Hill. This pitch is hit on the ground over to Santander. He has it and tags the first base bag for the 3rd out. So the Crawdads are able to get a couple of runners in scoring position, but they strand them both at 2nd and 3rd respectively. Still no score here. Bottom of the 1st coming up. And we're going to get our first look at Mark Perkins on the mound for the Dads here at Vanden High School. This is the Walnut Creek Crawdads Streaming Network. Welcome back to the first, but they were able to get a couple of men first, so they've cracked the hit column. On the mound today for the Crawdads is going to be Mark Perkins, who's 0-1, making his 5th start, 6th appearance overall. Comes in with a 7.36 ERA. Struck out 14, walked 12. The lineup he'll be facing, that's the Solano Mudcats are going to send up. It's going to be Jared Wood, the shortstop, leading off. Then Kenny DeSalle in center, batting 2nd. Cole Santander, the first baseman, batting 3rd. Trey Topping, the catcher, batting 4th. Michael Benavidez, the left fielder, batting 5th. Chase Hilda, the second baseman, batting 6th. Tassos Foster, the designated hitter, batting 7th. Telly Hill, the right fielder, batting 8th. And then rounding out their lineup is Jaden Jones, the third baseman. Jared Wood come up to the plate. He's hitting .257. No home runs yet this summer. 7 RBIs. A little bit of a different look. We're usually used to seeing Kenny DeSalle lead off for the Solano Mudcats. First pitch from Perkins, the righty. This is down in the count 1-0 to Jared Wood, the right-handed batsman. Solano playing in the blue jerseys. Always think those look so good with the white pants. 1-0 pitch. This misses outside and a bit low in the count 2-0. The Crawdads in their reds with the gray pants. Two-0 pitch from Perkins, and this is hit. Takes a couple of hops down the third baseline, foul. Count 2-1. Few fans here today at Vanden High School. Root on their Solano Mudcats. 2-1 pitch, and this is chopped foul once again. This time closer to the dugout of the Crawdads.
I'm a big fan of the Dirty Fish moniker for the Mudcats.
I do like the Dirty Fish. They use that hashtag quite a bit on their social media as well. It's really good. So the count even, the 2-2 pitch from Perkins. This is hit hard into left. Is that going to stay fair? And it does not. That had the distance, but hooking foul. Scary moment there for Mark Perkins. Did not want to give up a home run and give Solano an early lead, especially when you're only a game back of the first place Healdsburg Prune Packers, as the Crawdads are right now.
Seems really with the standings how it is.
As this pitch is hit over to the second baseman, Corio has it, flips on to first for out number 1. So a good comeback pitch there after a very loud foul ball.
Sorry, as I was saying, it seems the way the standings are right now, you know, the Dads have to win pretty much every game that they don't play against Healdsburg. They have to make up any ground they can, and that's what they were doing for that solid week stretch. And, you know, a tough weekend, and obviously it didn't count for the CCL standings, but the loss to Lincoln didn't help. And now the Dads have some work to do.
That loss to Lincoln on July 4th, that was Perkins' last start. Was able to go 3 2/3 innings, gave up 6 runs, all earned. Pitch here swung on and missed to Kenny DeSalle. DeSalle hitting .270, no home runs, 13 driven in. But, yeah, you know, the Crawdads, they were so hot, and then losing on July 4th. This pitch comes in, misses, dropped by the catcher McKenna. Count 1-1, but then they go on that road trip down south, not able to win a single game, but their quality of baseball got better as that road trip went on, even though they were down by 9-1 Sunday at one point, as this pitch is swung on in the dirt and missed. But they were down 9-1 at one point, and then they were able to scream all the way back, try to make it a game late, ended up losing 9-6. But as you said, Austin, those games, you know, don't count in the standings. But you do got to pick up these ones against Northern Division foes. Pitch here from Perkins, and this bounces in the dirt. On deck is Cole Santander. Has a couple of home runs. As this pitch is swung on and missed, and that's a strikeout for Mark Perkins.
With Perkins, you know he has the stuff. You know he has the strikeout stuff, the ground ball stuff. That sinker might be the best true sinker on this Crawdads team, but it's all about being able to put it together. And I believe this is his first start working with McKenna behind the plate, and that could be beneficial to him. McKenna's a guy that really, you know, feeds on the ball down low, and I think this is kind of a matchup made in heaven for the Crawdads.
Yeah, he doesn't mind pitches in the dirt. He doesn't mind fishing stuff out, as Perkins fires a strike here to Cole Santander. But McKenna, probably the best defensive catcher on the team. He's shown that time and again. And that last strikeout for Perkins was his 15th on the summer. So good for Perkins, getting closer to 20. So he misses low here in the count 1-1 to the Dirty Fish first baseman. Field here at Vanden High, 320 down the lines, 380 in center. Although that 380 banner has been shredded, it looks like, on the batter's eye as this pitch is fouled away.
Yeah, it's not much of a batter's eye here. It kind of just it goes on, and there's the fence, and it looks like remnants of an old batter's eye out there. Not beneficial.
No, tough to read the ball for sure as the pitch comes in from Perkins, and that's another punch out for Perkins. Sit him down, Mark. Oh, Perkins able to end the bottom of the first with back-to-back strikeouts. And it is still 0-0. Crawdads will be up to bat when we return. It's going to be 6, 7, and 8. Jack Ben Shoshan, Kavares Tears, and Andrew McKenna. Crawdads going to try to get the offense going and snap a 3-game losing streak today here at Vanden High. And we'll have more baseball for you here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Back here at Vanden High School, still scoreless. Jack Ben Shoshan stepping up to the plate. Ben Shoshan, Tears, and McKenna 6, 7, and 8. The Crawdads do have a hit so far today. And the pitch here to Jack Ben Shoshan. He takes high. So breaking ball that missed up. The count 1-0. One-0 pitch here to Jack Ben Shoshan, and that's in there. Count 1-1 to the Crawdads right field this afternoon. Kavares Tears not in right for this game. He's DHing instead. Pitch here, this misses high, and the count 2-1. Healdsburg will be in play starting around 6:05 in Sonoma against the Stompers. 2-1 pitch to Jack, and he swings and loses the bat here as it flies into the on-deck circle. Kavares Tears able to retrieve the baseball bat for Jack Ben Shoshan, who's kind of smiling and says, okay, I'll keep a better grip on it next time. And now some pine tar being handed to Jack Ben Shoshan from the catcher, Trey Topping, that is. That's pretty funny. He pulled that out of his back pocket. He said,
It's
buddy.
teamwork.
Yeah, he said, buddy, I think you need this.
It's sportsmanship out here.
Yeah, so the boys of summer getting along. A wild swing and miss there by Jack Ben Shoshan. Seen that a couple of times, not from him, but in the CCO with the bat going flying. The pitch here, and this misses high. And the count 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter here in the top of the second. Crawdads want to get on the board first. On the road here at Solano. This pitch misses away, and Jack Ben Shoshan draws a walk. So he came in hitting .281 with a home run and 7 RBIs. Doesn't get a hit here, but is able to get on base. That's the second walk that's been drawn today by the Crawdads already. And here comes Kavares Tears.
Can we just talk about how good Ben Sho's at bats have looked recently?
He's been dialed in. He's been seeing everything so well. He had that wild swing and miss where he let go of the bat, but he's been so good at the pitches he's gone after as the lefty Tears is in here against the righty Morris as a pickoff move over to first, and back in safely is Jack Ben Shoshan. Tiers hitting .221, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs. Has struck out a bit, though. 6 walks to 20 strikeouts. Going to try to clean that up is Kavares. Pitch here from Morris, and Tiers takes. It's a strike. But, yeah, Jack's been so good. And what do you think that success has been attributed to, Austin?
He's just not afraid to swing the bat right now. I think early in the season, he wanted to draw walks to get on base, but he's swinging the stick, and it looks good.
0-1 pitch to Tiers, and he hits this high and deep, but foul down the left field line. Count will be 0-2. Moving on, the contact there was Jack Ben Shoshan. Actually looked like he got a little bit of a jump before the ball even got to Kavares Tiers' bat. Trying to be aggressive here early are the Crawdads, it looks like. Another move over to first, and probably thinking about that is Brendan Morris. Jack Ben Shoshan has to get dirty. Andrew McKenna on deck. Pitch to Tiers, and he fights this off. Count stays 0-2. Crawdads were only able to score 9 runs in those 3 games that they played down south. First game down south against the Foresters is another throw over to first, but in safely is Ben Show. That was a shutout that the Crawdads just could not find any offense against very good pitching staff for the Foresters. And they had the misfortune of seeing Nick Proctor twice in back-to-back games late in the game. 0-2 pitch to Tiers, and this bounces away from Topping. And on the move was Ben Shoshan. He's over at second. The count will be 1-2. Not much Trey Topping could do about that. That ball was spiked right there about 2 feet in front of the plate, and it just took a hop and kind of spun all the way into the backstop. So runner in scoring position for the second straight time for the Crawdads.
Yeah, it seems like Morris has left that breaking ball high a bunch and was trying to kind of overdo it there and spiked it in the dirt like you mentioned. He really, he spotted the fastball pretty well, but that curveball has had just nothing so far.
He's missed high with it a few times. Morris looking over to second. The 1-2 pitch to Tiers, and that's in there. Tiers is punched out looking. Oh, that is the 21st strikeout of the summer for Kavares Tiers. So he's frustrated he could not swing the bat there, and Andrew McKenna is going to try to pick his guy up and possibly move Ben Show closer over to third. Andrew McKenna, the catcher today for the Crawdads, comes in batting .067, no home runs and RBI. Has not walked yet, has struck out 5 times, but does have the handedness advantage here against Morris. As McKenna is the lefty, Morris the righty. And the first pitch to McKenna, he takes a big cut at it, just able to foul tip it. Count 0-1.
I think his batting average is selling him short of how good his at-bats have been, how well he's played behind the plate.
He's really grinded up there. He's hit some very hard balls. They've usually been right at some defenders, though. Looking back to second is Morris, and delivering, and a big swing and a miss there from McKenna, who stumbled out of the batter's box there. Now he's going to be down 0-2. Look to stay alive. I think all these guys should start picking the brain of Ryan Brome as to what his approach is. A lot of it is natural ability to just fight, but, there's a lot of hard work that goes into that as well. So 0-2 to the Crawdads catcher. And the pitch from Morris. Here it is, and McKenna swings at a fastball right at the letters and comes up empty. Another strikeout from Morris. He's got 3 now. He gets Tiers looking, then McKenna swinging, and here comes the switch-hitting Tyson Corio, who's going to be batting lefty, at least for now. We've seen Corio bat almost exclusively lefty. Seen him righty a few times, but just not a whole lot of left-handed starters that the Crawdads have seen.
Yeah, I think the most we saw him hit lefty was this weekend against Graham Osmond.
Osmond was fantastic for Santa Barbara. Pitch here to Corio, and he just hooks this foul, just a little out in front there on the pitch. Hit it down the first base line.
Tyson Corio today, I think, had his best BP of the season, at least from what I've observed. He was just rocketing the ball to right field.
I know you got here early with the rest of the guys, Austin. You were out there catching balls. He hit any your way?
He hit some my way. Not that I caught any of them.
Oh, Corio down 0-1, but put a good lick on that last pitch. The 0-1 pitch, and no, it's going to be a step off and look over to second. Got to be a little careful about that. That runner over at second, Jack Ben Shoshan, especially getting there on a wild pitch. 0-1 pitch to Corio, and he hits this, takes a few hops over to the second baseman, Hilda, who throws on to first, and that's out number 3. The Crawdads threaten again, get another runner in scoring position, but not able to convert on the opportunity. So no hits for the Dads, but Ben Shoshan able to walk and get on base, advance all the way to second. But that's all. It is still scoreless here, bottom of the second coming up. It's going to be 4, 5, and 6 for the Mudcats. Trey Topping, Michael Benavides, and Chase Hilda, who just made the out there. More baseball right around the corner here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Welcome back here to Vanden High School, home of the Solano Mudcats in Solano County. Game started a little bit early today. Was scheduled for 5 o'clock. First pitch was at 4:55. Mark Perkins still on the mound. Got through a clean bottom of the first. Was able to take care of 1, 2, and 3. It's 4, 5, and 6 for the Mudcats. Trey Topping, the right-handed batting catcher, getting things started here in the bottom of the second. Then it'll be Michael Benavides and Chase Hilda. The first pitch from Perkins here is a strike. The count 0-1. Perkins going to heavily rely upon the sinker, try to keep the ball low. The 0-1 pitch, and he gets a ground ball there that is fouled off of the plate and then over to the shortstop, Ellis. So, oh, no, check that. They're going to say that hit the batter. Interesting, because he did swing at it.
Next for the Mudcats to left field, at number 40, Michael Smooth Benavides.
Oh, interesting there. The ball was hit. Looked like it was hit, but instead just a ricochet off the batter there. Trey Topping over at first. On to say, Austin Oda with you here. Pitch from Perkins gets a swing. Trying to hold back there was Michael Benavides.
When's the last time you saw a catcher's interference?
Is that what that was ruled?
Yep.
Okay, so he did hit it, but then McKenna interfered with the batter on the swing. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Thanks for clearing that up, Austin. I was confused. I thought, okay, I guess it hit him. So,
well, I admittedly wasn't here when you were talking about it, so I assumed you got it, but
no,
we're all cleared up now.
I totally missed that. So catcher's interference. Pitch in there for a strike. So that's how Trey Topping gets on. So one catcher interferes with the other.
So I only know catcher's interferences exist because, well, the Giants had about 25 of them in 2020, which isn't too much of an exaggeration, embarrassingly.
Pitch here, that's a strike. And struck out looking is Michael Benavides. That's the third strikeout already for Mark Perkins, and he was very frustrated with Benavides pounding the bat into the dirt as he left the batter's box.
The other reason I know is because when I was probably about, I don't know, 9 or 10, and I was playing, and I backswung and hit the catcher's hand and broke his hand, ended his baseball career.
Oof. Big swing and a miss there. Good pitch from Mark Perkins. The count 0-1 to Chase Hilda, who's hitting 200, no home runs, no RBIs. This is only Hilda's 7th game. Pitch here, he's able to foul this away.
Kid whose hand I broke ended up being a really good soccer player, so might have helped him out a little bit.
He had to rely more on the feet. Count 0-2. So, yeah, I've never seen a catcher's interference in the CCL, not by the Crawdads. I've seen them in person at Major League and minor league games, but surprising there from McKenna. 0-2 pitch, and this bounces up to McKenna. The count 1-2. How much movement he has back there. The 1-2 pitch. McKenna sets up on the outside. This is hit high and out of play. Foul. Count will stay 1-2. The next time the Crawdads will be at home, where you can come see them in Danville, California, will be on Friday, July 15th. That's this Friday at 4 p.m. against the Lincoln Potters. Pitch here, and this is hit right over the head of the leaping Matt King, and that is fair. There's going to be runners on first and second as that ball is fielded out and left by Brom, able to get it back in quickly. But a couple of base runners now here for the Solano Mudcats. Topping moves up to second. Hilda over at first now after that single. And that's the first hit of the ball game for the Mudcats, and here comes Tassos Foster, the designated hitter.
You know, back to your point about the dads playing at home on Friday, I would strongly encourage, if you're listening to the game, if you're in the Walnut Creek, Danville area, there's not much more fun of a team to watch than Walnut Creek Crawdads right now.
Pitch here, that's a strike from Perkins, and 100% agree there, Austin. They have been so good and so good at home, and now that they're back in CCL Division, North Division play, try to start another winning streak. Pitch here, this is swung on and missed. Count 0-2. So Perkins looking pretty good here so far. He did get out of a jam on that July 4th against the Potters where the bases were loaded. So you know he can pitch with runners on. And that Lincoln Park does give up a lot of runs maybe that aren't runs on other fields. The 0-2 pitch, and this bounces up to McKinnon. Kind of able to get it. Count 1-2, but you know, you kind of feel for the pitchers out there because the infield's that hard turf, and the ball takes some wild bounces, some very high choppers where infielders have to wait for the ball to come back down. You can leg out a lot of infield singles. 1-2 pitch, and this is hit right back to the pitcher Perkins, who fires over to first, but the throw pulls Giraffe off the bag. Perkins kind of had to wait on that ball to get to him. It was just a slow little roller on the grass there, and then he made a wild throw over to first, so that'll be an error on Perkins. The bases are now loaded.
Yeah, just a really tough play for Perkins to be able to make there. You know, he falls off to the first base side of the mound naturally as a righty and had to hustle over to the third base side as the ball was hit and was unable to get his momentum there to make a play quickly and have really time to set up and fire.
Bases loaded for the Mudcats. Telly Hill at the plate, and he promptly hits this right into the ground. Giraffe has it. Thought about throwing back to home, and instead has to flip over to the covering Corio at second, and the Crawdads get no outs on the play. So it is now 1-0 Solano. Giraffe wanted to come home, and it looked like McKenna had taken a few steps forward, and Giraffe realized he wasn't going to be able to make the throw home, and by the time he realized that he should just get it over to first base, Hill was already there. Pitch here, this misses in, and the count 1-0 to the number 9 hitter, Jaden Jones. Perkins fires, misses in. Count 2-0. So up at third now is Hilda. Over at second is Foster. Hill at first. Pitch from Perkins, and looking for a high strike call there was Mark. Does not get it. Count 3-0. Perkins going to have to dig deep here and fire a strike to the number 9 hitter, Jaden Jones. He's hitting just .222. Does have a home run, though, and 10 RBIs. 3-0 pitch from Perkins, and that hits the strike zone. Count 3-1. Even though that's over the heart of the plate there, it is low and might be able to roll up 2 if you get a ground ball. That's what Perkins excels at. 3-1 pitch. This is fouled away, and now the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Often an uncomfortable position for a pitcher to be in with the bases loaded. Just 1 away. It's 1-0 Solano here. Perkins has to get something over the plate, but can't serve up a meatball. The 3-2 pitch, and this misses low and away, and the Crawdads walk in a runner. It is now 2-0 Solano.
So now the catcher's interference, the fielder's choice, the error by Perkins, all coming back to bite as they usually do.
Sometimes the Crawdads are able to get away with some mistakes, some errors, and things of that nature. And I mean, for a while we were kind of jokingly saying, you keep this team to under 4 errors and they got a chance to win, but it's hard to sustain that. There's only so much that you can have happen defensively and keep putting yourself in a hole early. The lineup card turns over. It's Jared Wood, who's 0 for 1. Takes a big rip there and misses, and the count 0-1. But Perkins had a very clean top of the first, was able to set down 1, 2, and 3. Those hitters in order, and all of a sudden, already he's had to deal with the bases loaded almost the entire time here as this ball is hit softly over to Ellis at short, gets it over to Corio at second for 1. That'll be all the Crawdads get. Another run does score. Corio just had to hold on to that baseball. It is now 3-0 Solano. So productive at-bat there for Jared Wood. Crawdads were able to get an out, though. There's 2 away, and here comes Kenny DeSalle, who K'd in his first time at bat. That was his 11th strikeout of the summer. Runners on the corners. Pitch here to DeSalle, and a strike right around the knees. Count 0-1. That's where Perkins has to live. He has to keep that sinker there the entire time. Occasionally come up to change the eye level a little bit, but otherwise just keep the ball low there. Force these hitters try to do something with that ball and trust your defense. The 0-1 pitch, and this is hit on the ground over to Corio. Has it, throws to first, and that's out number 3, but not before the Solano Mudcats can score 3 runs. It is 3-0, taking advantage from some defensive lapses there by the Crawdads. The Crawdads will be back up to bat when we return. It'll be Schmidt, DeRoff, and Brome, 1, 2, and 3, and we know this Crawdads team can hit, but they're going to have to get started here now, down 3 in Solano. More Crawdads baseball when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Back here at Vanden High School, the Crawdads trail by 3. It is 3-0 Solano. Solano coming into this game in 4th place in the CCL North, 5 games behind the Healdsburg Prune Packers and 4 games behind the 2nd place Walnut Creek Crawdads. As the first pitch here to Coleman Schmidt misses. The count 1-0. Schmidt 0 for 1 so far this afternoon. Came into this game hitting .367, 7 home runs, 23 batted in. But his first at-bat, he struck out. The 1-0 pitch to Schmidt, and big cut and a miss there from Coleman, and the count 1-1. Schmidt. Ready to see the pitch, the 1-1 pitch. This misses high, and the count 2-1. So Coleman Schmidt ahead here.
Seems to me like the Dads should just be sitting fastball because that off-speed pitch really hasn't done much for Morris today on the mound.
Has not been there. 2-1. That misses high. Count 3-1.
Now Schmidt sitting 1 speed, 1 location. Such a good mistake hitter.
There we go.
See if he sits on one here.
Yeah, he's got a keyhole something here, and Schmidt has been very good at that. 3-1 pitch to Coleman, and he takes all the way, and it misses outside. Well, Coleman Schmidt draws a walk. He now has a strikeout and a walk. And he's on base for the first time today.
Next up,
The Crawdads have done a good job of getting men on base so far. It's still early in this game, just the top of the 3rd inning, but been driving in those runs. That has been tough this evening. As Brian Duroff steps in, he had a walk in his first at-bat, made it all the way to 3rd, but was stranded. First pitch here is dropped by topping behind the plate, but able to get to it in enough time, and Coleman Schmidt just wisely stays over there at first base. Oh, 1 pitch here to Duroff. Schmidt takes off for second, and it looks like he's going to have it all the way. He will, as that throw bounces into the outfield. Now Schmidt's going to go for 3rd. Oh, Schmidt on the throwing error there from Trey Topping is able to make it all the way to 3rd base. That's what Coleman Schmidt can do. As soon as he's on first base, he is a threat to definitely take second, and if you make a mistake throwing the ball, he'll end up all the way at 3rd.
Nice little stolen base, plus E2 for Schmidt, who's fighting for one of the Mudcats right now with that lead in the CCL, and now Schmidt takes it. I'm sure if DeSalle gets on base, he'll try to take that as well, take that back.
Each team with errors now. Pitch to Duroff. He foul tips this, and it ricochets off of the mask of the home plate umpire, Ron McGaff. The officiating crew today behind the plate calling balls and strikes is Ron McGaff, who's now going to take a little walk, try to just clear his head a little bit after getting hit on the mask, and have a drink of water as Joey Napoli, who's at 3rd base, trots on in to check on his guy, and Justin Ammett, who's at first base, is going to go also have some words with Ron. Hopefully Mr. McGaff is okay. We've seen Ron McGaff this season. We've also seen Justin Ammett. Joey Napoli, though, getting our first look at him as one of the officiating crew today here in Solano. And it looks like Ron McGaff's all right, so that's good.
Do you know if there's any relation between Joey Napoli and Mike Napoli?
I have no clue.
You know, Joey Gomes and Johnny Gomes look exactly the same, and really Joey Napoli looks a lot like Mike Napoli. It's that big beard.
It's that big beard he's got. Yeah, Joey Gomes and Johnny brothers. Joey, the coach up there, Healdsburg. 1-2 to Duroff, and he takes, just misses. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, we talk a lot about Ryan Brome mastering the strike zone, but I think Brian Duroff is in that same category, just kind of in a different way.
2-2 here to Duroff, and he takes outside. Now the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Crawdads' first baseman, who's maybe trying to make up for a lapse in judgment there at first base defensively earlier. 3-2 pitch, Duroff, and this hits him. And no, it's going to be called foul. That hit off the bat. It also hit Duroff's hand. Ouch, Duroff just going to get a moment here to recover as that hit him right on the knuckles. but he'll have to stay in and see another pitch. You hope Duroff's hand is okay, and he is kind of bending over in some pain here. Seen some players get hit on the hands. It's inevitable when you watch enough baseball over the course of a summer, and you heard screams of foul, and actually, okay, so you heard screams of foul ball, and Solano's not too happy about this, and Ron McGaff's actually going to say that's a hit by pitch, so Duroff has first base.
That was funny. Ron McGaff just said blame it on Justin.
Blame it on Justin Ammett.
First base umpire.
And now you can hear there's a dugout warning. So everybody over there getting warned for Solano. Ben Crombie, the manager, not too happy with that last call as Ryan Brome up to bat and fouls this back into the backstop. Always a little more chaotic when we're sitting so close to the field. We're right here, I mean, right behind the backstop. Count 0-1 to Brome, who's already 1 for 1 today with a single, made it all the way to second. Crawdads with runners on first and third, trailing by 3. It's 3-0 Solano. 0-1 pitch to Brome, and he hits this, but out of play on the left side. That's going to land over near the football facility, training room. Count 0-2 to Ryan Brome.
2021 conference champions, Vanden High School football.
Vanden High School. 3 AA champions. 0-2 pitch here to the lefty, Brome. Morris taking his time. Now he fires, and Brome hits this hard on the left side. A nice sliding stop by Jones, getting it over to second for 1. Is the relay there in time? It is not. The Crawdads do get a run. Coleman Schmidt comes around to score. Ryan Brome will be over at first. And there is one away.
Next up, third baseman, number 3, Matt King.
So Duroff gets to get back into the dugout, and probably immediately he's going to be putting ice on his. An RBI for Duroff there, or Brome there rather, is 29th of the summer as Matt King swings and misses. King 0 for 1. Brome over at first. Now Schmidt's aggressive base running really paying off, able to manufacture a run essentially for the Crawdads here. It is now 3-1 Solano. 0-1 pitch to King, and he hits this, takes a couple of hops over to Jones at third. The throw over to second for 1 is in time, and the relay over to first is able to get Matt King. So the top of the third is ended with a double play. A nice job turning it by Solano, but the Crawdads are able to get one. Schmidt comes home on fielder's choice by Ryan Brome. So it is 3-1 Solano. Crawdads are in this. It's still early, bottom of the third when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Bottom of the third inning. Mark Perkins still on the mound. It's 3-1 Solano Mudcats over the Walnut Creek Crawdads right now. Going to be 3, 4, and 5 for Solano, Cole Santander, Trey Topping, and Michael Benavidez. Santander 0 for 1 so far.
Lead things off in the bottom.
Struck out looking in the bottom of the first.
10, Cole Santander.
Good to see Brian DeRoff back out there over at first base right now. He was hit on the hands by a pitch last half inning. And the pitch here to Santander. And that's in there for a strike.
I always felt bad for first baseman because the third baseman got the name the hot corner, and then the first baseman was just the other corner.
The other one.
Right.
But still, it's a very tough job. It can heat up there in a hurry. The 0-1 pitch. And there's a breaking ball for a strike from Perkins. Count 0-2, so maybe getting back to what Perkins did in the bottom of the first. Able to get ahead of a hitter here. Santander in a hole. No balls, 2 strikes. Kicks and deals does Perkins, and this ball is hit on the ground, taking a big hop over there to Ellis at short. Ellis makes a throw on the run. And he is out. Blocking my view there was Ron McGaff, but good throw there from Ryan Ellis. So there's one away.
Subtly, that might have been one of the best players of the summer on both ends. Ellis had a wicked short hop and, fired on the run over to Duroff at first, who had a maybe even more wicked short hop that he had to go between that front hand and the backhand and get right in the middle of it and made the play.
Pitch here, that's in there for a strike to Trey Topping, the catcher today for the Mudcats. Count 0-1.
How often do you see a catcher go to shortstop the next day?
0-1 pitch. This misses high and in. Count 1-1. No, not too often. Ryan Ellis on Sunday was the backstop for the Crawdads. He's back at short, which has been a much more familiar position for him this summer. 1-1 pitch. This bounces up to McKenna. The count 2 balls and a strike.
But apparently he's supposed to catch next year at St. Mary's.
Yeah, at St. Mary's, and that's what he did in high school. 2-1 pitch, and this is chopped foul.
Ellis
2-2.
Ellis has the arm. He doesn't have the traditional catcher frame. Stands only about 5'7", 5'8", but he blocked pretty well. He received pretty well. Hollis Fanning said that he had really good twitch with his hand in terms of framing.
Pitch from Perkins. This misses low. Count runs full, 3-2. But the other thing I noticed about Ellis behind the plate is he was very aggressive in his back pick attempts. He made quite a few over there to first base and almost got a few runners, got a few free outs for the Crawdads. This is hit over to King, and it's off his glove fair. That's going to be an error on Matt King. That hit his glove. He got down to make the play. Solano will have a runner on first. With 1 away, that's the second time that Trey Topping has reached base today. Still no hit.
Next up for the Mudcats.
Do you think error on that one?
King was down there. He had it right on the glove. That's a play we've seen him make. I mean, I don't know how they're going to rule it here, but right now I have it as an error. We'll see what the official ruling is. Pitch here bounces to McKenna. He's able to scramble and get it, so Topping not able to advance. And actually, they're going to call that a hit for Solano, so that is Solano's third hit of the day. I don't know. I think Matt King usually makes that play.
I'm with you on that one. I think it should have been an error, but a little hometown bias maybe.
Yep. Want to get Trey Topping a hit. Batting under 300. Came in hitting 267.
Did that mean they gave the ball to Duroff or the ball to Perkins a hit as well?
This one in there.
It has to mean that, correct? The little chopper.
The little chopper.
The third
Yeah,
base side?
They did.
That's not right.
No, I disagree with that as well because the throw pulled Duroff off the bag. This one swung on and missed.
I'm, of course, notedly not the most bipartisan of folk when it comes to broadcasting.
1-2 pitch, and And this misses. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But, yeah, you know, I thought Perkins, he did have to wait for that ball to get to him on the third base side, but that throw really did. It's tough to pull Duroff off the bag. He's pretty tall. 2-2, and this is swung on and miss. A strikeout from Mark Perkins. That's the second time that Benavidez has struck out. Once looking, now once swinging.
Second baseman number 2, Chase.
And the 4th strikeout today for Mark Perkins on the mound. So I think he's settling back in.
Yeah, I think he's looked really good overall. I think that he got some bad luck in the second inning.
Chase Hilda takes a first pitch strike. Count 0-1. Hilda 1 for 1 so far. Was able to come around and score in the second. Solano leads 3-1. 0-1 pitch to Hilda, and this bounces up to McKenna. Count a ball and a strike. Nice day out here at Vanden High School. Wind is blowing in a bit, though. Small lead off of first for the catcher, Trey Topping. And the 1-1 pitch, that swung on a miss. And Perkins doing a good job with that breaking ball going low below the knees and enticing some of these Mudcats hitters to go right after it.
Yeah, this Mudcats team, some free swingers out there.
Perkins the pitch, and another swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Mark Perkins. He has 5 so far this evening. And able to get out of the bottom of the third is Mark Perkins with back-to-back strikeouts. So, looks like Big Perk is settled back down. It is 3-1 still. Solano out in front by a couple of runs, but the Crawdads will be back up to bat. It'll be Ryan Ellis, Jack Ben Shoshan, and Kavares Tears 5, 6, and 7. And Austin Oda will have that for you here on the Crawdads streaming network.
Top of the 4th inning here at Vanden High School. Austin Oda, Alondese on the call. The Crawdads trail 3-1. Ryan Ellis, Jack Ben Shoshan, and Kavares Tears due up, facing Brendan Morris, the big righty, who looks pretty good today. His fastball command has been great. His off-speed not so much, but he's worked through this Crawdads order. Now going into the second time, Ryan Ellis, the first pitch. High drive to right center, and coming in.
Crawdads and right at Kenny DeSalle.
The first flyout for either team.
Ball's going to be on the ground today. Well, I mean, we expect that when Mark Perkins is pitching for the Dads.
Now Jack Ben Shoshan walked and stole a base in his first at-bat. First pitch he sees over the outside edge for strike 1 with the fastball. Morris will sit in that upper 8s, low 9s range with the fastball. Ben Shoshan, the 0-1. Curveball runs in and hits him.
And that's that curveball that you were mentioning in the first 3 innings there, Austin, that Morris has just not been able to control today. It's missed up quite a few times. Not intentional at all. It's just he has not had the curveball today, and you can kind of see him shake his head like, man, I can't believe I haven't been able to get this thing on target yet. Feel bad for Ben Shoshan. He's gotten beat up this season.
Yeah, no kidding. He missed about a week with that hand injury. Now finally back and hitting the ball well, but hasn't had a chance to swing the bat today. A walk and a hit by pitch. It'll bring up Kavares Tears, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Went down looking on a fastball inside, or on the inside, excuse me, his first time at bat. Morris hunched over. Pickoff move, but back in safely is Ben Shoshan.
Isn't that lovely? You get drilled by a pitch, even though it's a breaking ball, and then the first thing that the pitcher does is he throws you away, and you got to slide back on the dirt safely to first.
No kidding. First pitch to Tears, misses down low. 1-0.
If KT can just really focus in on the zone, not go after anything, he's going to have some very productive at-bats here over the last few weeks of the season.
The 1-ball pitch misses down low again, blocked by Topping. 2-0.
Tears is kind of funny because he almost walks out of the box, almost looks frustrated that he's not getting a pitch to hit there, like asking the pitcher, can you throw it a little bit higher?
He likes to swing. He's a free swinger.
Oh, he is. That's what makes him so fun to watch.
Ahead 2-0. Morris sets and delivers. Ben Shoshan goes. Tears hits it on a line right up the middle for a base hit. Ben Shoshan rounds second and heads to third, and he'll be upstanding. And KT on base with a single. The Dads have runners on the corners with just one out.
That's just the strength of Tears right there. That ball was back up the middle, but he hit it so hard that it took a big hop off of the pitcher's mound and then went over the glove of the leaping Wood at short, and it ended up in center field. So just muscling that one out there was Kavara's Tears. So really good job by him. That's that raw strength he has.
Now Andrew McKenna, the catcher, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, went down swinging on 4 pitches his first at bat. Stands in from the left side, hands held high above his head. Motions the bat towards the pitcher, now returns. Morris, first pitch, swing and a miss with the fastball, 0-1.
I almost wonder if McKenna's swinging a little too hard up there because he's seeing the ball well, just not able to square it up.
Strong left-handed batter. Morris comes set with the 0-1. Tears goes. Throw's going to come to second. It's right there. Tears is called out at second base. Nice throw by Trey Topping for the second out of the inning.
I don't really like that move from the Crawdads there. I'm not sure whether manager Brent Cummings sent Kavara's Tears or not, or if he just figured I'm going to steal a base here, but it's a tough way to get a second out.
So now McKenna behind in the count 0-2. Morris works from the windup and delivers the 0-2. McKenna crushes this one into left center. That's going to drop, and it's going to go to the fence. McKenna around first, heading for second. Ben Shoshan comes in to score. McKenna up into second, standing with an RBI double, and the game is 3-2. The Crawdads trail by just 1.
Beautiful hit from McKenna, able to get his second RBI of the summer. You know he's got the power. That one, he was able to barrel up and right into the gap. And it's a shame that Kavara's Tears was thrown out at second because he would have been on his way home as well.
Now Tyson Corio, the second baseman, 0 for 1 on the day. Chopped out to Hilda at second base his last time up. Still hitting from the left side, of course, against the righty Morris. 3-2 now the score. Top of the 4th inning. Morris sets. First pitch to Corio. A little high, a little outside with the fastball, 1-0.
I do really like what manager Cummings did with the lineup today. With the bottom of the order, okay, so that batting averages aren't where you want them, but he's able to give them all the advantage because they're all lefties, Corio being the switch hitter.
Morris checks the runner at second. Spin move, but McKenna's back in without a throw.
So able to get an advantage there. Were the Crawdads.
1-0 is the count to Tyson Corio. Whenever Morris decides to get ready, he does. Peaks on McKenna at second, now comes home. Corio high pop up. Left side of the infield. Under it, Jones. He makes the catch for the third out of the inning. Crawdads bring home a run on Andrew McKenna's RBI double, but they leave him stranded with 2 outs at second. 3-2 the score when we come back here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. A defensive change for the Crawdads. Joey Donnelly is in the game. He's going to be hitting in the 2 spot and playing left field. Ryan Bro moves from left over to first. Brian Duroff out of the game. Obviously, his hand was bugging him a little bit. Hopefully, his injury doesn't keep Duroff out for too long, as he's been one of the biggest contributors on this Crawdads team. Mark Perkins back out to the mound for his 4th inning of work. He'll be facing 7, 8, 9. Tasso Foster, Telly Hill, and Jaden Jones. Foster last time reached on what was credited as a hit. I have it marked as an error in my book. First pitch, just off the outside with the slider, 1-0. So Donnelly, the new left fielder. Bro moves to first. The 1-0. Just off the inside with the fastball, 2-0. 3-2 the score now after Andrew McKenna's RBI double, as this ball's chopped foul off to the left. 2-1.
So we were wondering how long Duroff would stay in the game after taking that hit on the hands, and stayed in for a little bit, but I think a good cautious move there by the Crawdads to take him out.
2-1. Foster takes up high, 3-1. Yeah, really no reason to keep him in the game, especially when you have the bat of Joey Donnelly on your bench, as the 3-1 is a called strike.
That's kind of nice, isn't it? You can slot Donnelly in, and he can play in the outfield, and you get a great lefty bat now.
The 3-2, grounded into the 5-6 hole. Ellis on a backhand. His long throw to first pulls Brome off the bag, but it wouldn't have been in time anyway, and Foster is on base with a hit.
Good job getting deep in the hole there by Ellis to be able to get that ball, but I'm a little surprised he decided to fire. At that point, you're ranging so far that kind of that internal clock in your head's got to, the runner's probably at first by now.
Now Telly Hill, the right fielder, bats from the left side. Hill grounded into a fielder's choice his first time. Pickoff move, but back in safely to first is Foster.
Perkins has thrown a lot of strikes today. Pitch number 60 coming up.
First pitch, looped into left field, but foul.
42 strikes to just 18 balls.
It's really nice to see from Perk, whose really main flaw this summer has been that walk and what he's done with after the walk.
Yeah, getting himself into a little self-created trouble.
Just one of them today. The 0-1 to Hill. High pop-up. Third base side. King over. Step into foul territory. Reaches out and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Great pitch there from Mark Perkins, and that's the beauty of keeping that ball down. Guy's going to try to go down and get it, and they ended up just popping it right up on the infield.
Now Jaden Jones, the hot corner today, walked in his first at bat. 0 for 0. With Foster still on first. Perkins' first pitch. Ground ball right up the middle, off the body of Perkins. He's over to retrieve it. Will make a throw to first, but it's a little late. Jones beats it out. I know this is something that you and I have talked about a little bit, but I want to see a Baseball Savant page on Mark Perkins, because it seems like so many of the balls that are hit off of him are softly hit, ground balls that just get through the hole, and I want to see how unlucky he's getting.
Or they're right back at him,
right,
like that one, and he has to body block it. I agree. I mean, it seems to happen to Perkins more than any other pitcher on this staff. And it's good. It's not that he's making bad pitches; he's making good pitches. It's just they're finding little gaps. Got a lot of eyeballs on these balls to some of these pitches that he's throwing.
Jared Wood 0 for 2 on the day, grounded out twice. Perkins fakes the back pick. For those of you not familiar, Baseball Savant is a StatCast-based baseball website where you can check kind of the intangibles of a player, as the first pitch to Wood is a called strike. He pulls back the bunt, but it's in there anyway.
It's one of the best resources out there. It's It's really good.
Kind of tells you how lucky or unlucky a player is getting. Doesn't really help you understand how good they've been up to this point this season, but understands, where they can get in the future. The 0-1. Perkins, slider, misses off the outside and low.
The slider's been good for Perkins today as well. He's missed with it. That's really been the pitch that he has missed with, but that's all right because the sinker has, for the most part, been online.
1 out. 1-1 the count to Wood. Perkins fires. Wood swings through a good fastball. 1-2.
Now he can go back to that slider. He can try to roll a double play ball here with a sinker. But I would like to see Perkins just go to that slider and try to get the punch out here.
Perkins. A high set. And a back pick move, but in safely at second is Foster. 1-2 the count, 3-2 the score. The Crawdads trail, though they've put up solo runs in each of the last 2 frames. Perkins steps off, wants to go through the signs again with McKenna behind the plate. 1-2 is the count to Jared Wood. Perkins sets and fires. Wood stays alive, fouling this off high to the right, into the trees.
Almost hit off the light tower there for the football field out here at Vanden High School.
Perkins ready. Now takes a step off. He wants to readjust. Peers in for the sign. Checks the runner on second. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Goes to that slider again off the outer edge and gets Wood fishing.
That was the pitch that I thought Perkins was going to use 2 pitches ago. Instead, he uses it after the foul ball, after maybe changing where the eyes are looking a little bit out of Jared Wood. Just a great sequence of pitching there from Mark Perkins, and I love that he went for the strikeout.
Now Kenny DeSalle, the center fielder, who's also 0 for 2, as Wood's now 0 for 3. DeSalle struck out swinging in his first at-bat and grounded out to Corio in his second. Now here for the 3rd time up in the 4th inning. Perkins, with 2 runners on, fires the first pitch, and DeSalle swings over the top of a good changeup, 0-1.
So with that strikeout, that's number 6 today for Perkins. The most he had had in an appearance for the Crawdads this summer was 4. So setting a summer high is Mark Perkins today.
The 0-1. Swung on and missed again, went to that same spot, and it's 0-2. Getting a lot of chases. Back to Baseball Savant, his chase rate would be just crazy today.
Astronomical.
He is an Astros fan.
I did not know that. Well, he goes to Rice. That makes
Him
sense.
and Ben show.
Guess when you're in Houston.
The 0-2 to DeSalle. Perkins sets and delivers. Strike 3 swinging. That slider day, it's been astronomical. Astronomical for Mark Perkins. He's got 7 Ks today, a season high. Strikes out 2 in this frame. That adds bats looking to put some runs on the board in the top of the 5th here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Coleman Schmidt to lead off the top of the 5th inning. Astronomical.
That's the word.
Is it even a word?
Yeah, astronomical.
Schmidt 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. First pitch, down low with an off-speed pitch. You know, I had that one prepped. I was like, if Perk goes to that strikeout here, it's going to be astronomical, but just didn't work. That's why you don't script things when you broadcast.
Yeah,
that's on me. That's on me.
Don't plan. You go with the flow.
I'm learning. 1-0 to Schmidt. Up high with the fastball, 2-0.
Hey, you know what I'm noticing right now? Joey Donnelly, who's going to get his first at-bat, he's in the on-deck circle. On Sunday, he wore number 15.
He did wear 15 the other day.
And today he's back in his usual number 10. But it was funny, the PA announcer in San Luis Obispo.
2-0 to Schmidt. High fly ball to right field. Hill ranging over, right next to the line. It drops fair. Schmidt's going to head to second, and he's going to be in there with the stand-up double. Little how do you do, Coleman Schmidt.
That is very similar to the ball that was hit a little bit harder, but to the ball that he used to get the cycle.
Right.
Just staying fair. But yeah, Donnelly back in number 10 today, and they were announcing him as a different player. They did the same to, I forget who it was wearing Casey Cummings was wearing number 6, and they were announcing him as Kai Moody. And I had to rip the headset off. No, that's Casey Cummings.
Donnelly was that was Brody Aglite, correct?
Aglite, yep.
And Owen Stevenson for a game.
Yes.
Joey Donnelly now the hitter. Average all the way down to 241. Does still have 4 home runs. First pitch to Donnelly is off the outside with a changeup. 1-0.
Pretty nice that the Crawdads have the flexibility and the depth to put a very good bat up there in there for Brian DeRoff, and he's a lefty.
Donnelly has been really struggling of late. The 1-0. Down low again, 2-0. Long over for Joey Donnelly.
He had some tough battles with Nick Proctor, his UC Berkeley teammate.
The 2-0 to the man wearing 1-0. Schmidt dancing off second. Up high, 3-0.
Schmidt's got them a little spooked. That for sure, because that was a fastball that missed, and immediately the catcher Topping thought about throwing back to second and is out there on the mound trying to settle down Brendan Morris.
3-2 the score here in the top of the 5th inning. The Dads and the Solano Mudcats, the Dirty Fish as they call them. My favorite, I don't know, secondary name, nickname for a team.
I think it's great.
I like it much more than the Stirs.
Yeah, that
Foresters?
one never stir up. Yeah, that one never really works for me. I like the Foresters. I like going down to Santa Barbara, but yeah, Stirs, it's not great.
3-0 to Joey Donnelly. Ball 4, outside.
Yep.
So Donnelly will take a walk. Get that OBP up a little bit.
That's his 13th this summer. He's been really good about not striking out a whole bunch. It's 13 walks to 15 strikeouts for him, and now another lefty that Morris has to face here, and probably the toughest in this lineup. It's Ryan Brome.
Ryan Brome, 1 for 2. Drove in a run his last time out with a fielder's choice. Also singled through the right side in his first at-bat with runners on first and second now. Still nobody out. First pitch to Brome. Line drive, left side, over the head of the jumping Jones and into left field. Schmidt around third. They're going to send him. The throw's going to come in, but it's late. Schmidt slides in safely, and the game's tied at 3 on Ryan Brome's RBI single. Man, this kid can hit.
He can hit, and Schmidt's speed on full display there. That's just a single out into left, and Schmidt taking off immediately knows he's got to go home. That's the second run that Schmidt has scored today, and Crawdads now tied up, and you know, we always say it, this is not a team that you want to give any momentum to.
Brome now with RBI number 30 on the summer. Man, he's good.
Yeah, you didn't say that again.
Man, he's good.
Thank you. Waiting for that.
Now Matt King 0 for 2 today, grounded out to third in his first at-bat, and then grounded into a 5-4-3 double play his second at-bat, trying to stay out of that double play ball here is Matt King at the hot corner today. First pitch, fastball over the outside, strike 1. King has really settled into that third base role after playing a lot of shortstop early on. But that third base tandem of Ellis and King, or third and short tandem of Ellis and King, has flipped around. Now it's Ellis at short and King at third. The 0-1. King right on it, fouls it back behind the screen. Back to the backstop. 0-2.
Ron McGaff, who had to take a moment earlier for himself, is now giving Trey Topping a little bit of a breather here.
All tied up this game is at 3 apiece. The Dads threatening to add more. Joey Donnelly, not a ton of speed over at second base. Ryan Brome, sneaky speed over at first with Matt King in the box. 0-2 is the count. Morris sets. Looks back Donnelly, the 0-2. King, high fly ball, right field. Coming in is Hill, and it's going to drop in front of him in fair territory again. Donnelly is going to be held at third, and Matt King with a single. That right field line is, give him an assist on that one.
It's been very friendly to the Crawdads here this half inning, and a couple of little loopers that, you know, just staying fair by just enough, and the Crawdads got the bases loaded now, and you know these are the kinds of hits they were not getting over the past 3 days
kidding.
down south.
This is the kind of break the Dads needed.
They were looking for it all weekend. Started getting a few breaks on Sunday against the Blues, but things starting to even out once again here for the Dads.
Now Ryan Ellis 0 for 2, a line out and a ground out. Bases loaded, no outs. First pitch, Ellis takes just inside with the fastball, 1-0. Bases are loaded, 3-3 the score, no outs here in the top of the fifth. King on first, Brome on second, Donnelly on third. The 1-0, Ellis, high fly ball, deep right center field. This should do the trick. DeSalle under it, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Brome tags and heads to third. Donnelly tags, and he's in to score. The Dads take the lead 4-3.
Nice piece of hitting there by Ryan Ellis. Just does his job, drives the ball deep enough. That's all he's trying to do is just get a pitch that he can hit, make sure it's out there on the outfield, and Joey Donnelly able to tag, make an easy read, and even with the good throwing arm of DeSalle, it was all the way to the shortstop and trying to relay it over to third to get Brome. So the Crawdads knew they were going to score a run there, and hey, you know what? Now the runs are starting to come, and they're starting to produce with guys in scoring position.
Now Jack Ben Shoshan, who's 0 for 0 still, walked and got hit by a pitch. Runners on first and third, 1 out. Now the Dads leading 4-3. First pitch to Ben Show. He takes down low, ball 1, 1-0. The runner on third, Ryan Brome. The runner on first, Matt King. 1-0 to Ben Shoshan. Morris sets, fires. Ben Shoshan taps it foul. Slowly off to the left. Holman Schmidt led off this inning with a flare double into right, and then Donnelly walked. Ryan Brome hit a single to tie the game up. Matt King flared one down the right field line again to load the bases, where Ryan Ellis hit a sac fly to center, and that brings us here for Jack Ben Shoshan with runners at the corners. 1 out. The Dads leading 4-3. 1-1 the count. Pickoff move. Back in safely at first is Matt King.
Sometimes that's all it takes to get a team going again, too. Just a few little...
A break.
Yeah, a few little break. I mean, there's no other word for it. Just a few hits that usually would drop foul. They dropped fair today.
The 1-1 to Ben Shoshan. Big curveball. Touches the zone. 1-2. First time that curve has been called a strike.
Yeah, Morris was missing high with it quite a bit. Able to drop that one in there, so a good sign from him.
1-2 to Ben Shoshan. Morris, pickoff move. Back in safely at first is Matt King. Brome trying to time it up, seeing if he maybe, if there's another pickoff move to first, can get something at the plate. Unlikely to, of course. Don't want to give up that out at home. 1-2 is the count to Ben Shoshan. Catcher sets up high and away. The 1-2. Ben Shoshan. High drive, left center field. It should be deep enough. Over is DeSalle. He'll make the catch and toss it in quickly. But coming home to score is Ryan Brome, and it's 5-3.
That's the luxury of being able to get up there with runners in scoring position and not in a two-out situation. So you're able just to take a good swing at the ball, drive it deep enough to score a run, and really, really good job by both Ryan Ellis and Jack Ben-Shoshan.
Now KT, 1 for 2 on the day, struck out looking his first at bat and then hit a hard single up the middle in his last time. Dads are starting to tee up a little bit here against Morris. First pitch to Tears, up high, 1-0. Smooth sailing for Morris through the first 2 innings. Had 3 strikeouts, couple walks, but had only given up 1 hit. And since then, it's been tough. 1-0 to Tears. High pop up, back behind the plate. Topping giving chase in front of the wall. Slides it, makes the catch. What a play by Trey Topping for the 3rd out of the inning. The Dads score 3 times on a pair of hits. They leave a runner stranded on first base in Matt King, but they take a lead. It's now 5-3 when we come back here on the Crawdads streaming network. New pitcher for the Crawdads, it's the righty Nate Nordell, making his 8th appearance of the summer. He's thrown 12 innings so far, all out of the bullpen with a 2.25 ERA. 8 strikeouts, just 2 walks. Nordell has been just terrific. Has a win to his name. That one came against West Coast Kings in the 27-4 laugher.
That was a demo derby. I mean, you felt for the Kings after that, and there are a lot of young guys who are going to go into college. Just a total experience mismatch.
Number 10, the first baseman, Colt Santander.
You know, Nordell with Seth Higdon leaving, with the role of Idris Azani decreasing as the summer goes along, with Gabe Tanner also, you know, his role decreasing. Nate Nordell, one of the more trustworthy arms in this bullpen. Final line on Mark Perkins, 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. Walked 1, struck out 7. I think this was just about as good as we've seen Mark Perkins this entire summer. Nordell will be facing Cole Santander, Trey Topping, and Michael Benavides.
That was a confident Mark Perkins with a strikeout pitch.
First pitch, fastball just a little outside to Cole Santander, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out to short and a strikeout looking. 5-3 the score. The Crawdads lead after they scored 3 runs in the top half of this inning. First, the 1-0, excuse me. Looked like the same spot. This time it's called a strike. Count evens at 1.
That one just a touch in from where the previous one missed.
Nordell, righty out of Delta. Sets. The 1-1. Fouled off to the right, into the trees, 1-2.
Can be tough to tell, though, from this angle. This is similar in a lot of ways to the angle that people have if they're sitting in a dugout.
Nordell ahead in the count 1-2 to Santander. Sets at the letters and delivers. Santander takes a slider down and away. Count evens back up at 2. Nate Nordell, of course, one of my partners out in shagging fly balls before the games. It's usually him, Alex Carnes, or a couple of the guys I go to frequently. Hollis Fanning.
Hopefully they keep you safe out there.
Yeah, of course. The 2-2. Fastball on the outside edge, called strike 3. Nordell sits down Santander for the second time, and that one was a beauty.
Yeah, so Nordell coming in, doing exactly what Mark Perkins had done so far throughout his start, and that's already the 8th time that the Solano Mudcats have struck out. We're only in the 5th inning.
Now Trey Topping, who has had a very successful day, 1 for 2. Well, the catcher's interference, I don't know what that counts as. First pitch misses low and in, 1-0. I would assume it's in the same category as an error. I have to say, not to toot my own horn, it's pretty rare that I am confused about a baseball rule. The 1-0, Nordell misses high with the slider, 2-0.
Now you're a whiz.
I try.
I have to keep a rule book with me.
Me and the John Olrud Award. 2-0 to Trey Topping. Nordell fires a fastball, painted, 2-1.
The Mudcats were not able to lay off of the slider from Perkins. We've seen Nordell miss with his, but I wonder if his slider will be as effective as the one that Mark showed earlier.
2-1. He goes to that fastball again, and it's in the same spot, maybe a touch higher, but called strike 2 anyway. 2-2 to Trey Topping with Michael Benavides waiting on deck. Nordell readies, delivers, slider, and laying off of it is Trey Topping. 3-2.
Figured he would go to it there, and even though it's 3-2 count, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to it here. But it would be interesting. It would be an interesting decision.
That's where McKenna's setting up. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball grounded into the 5-6 hole. King picks it on a hop, fires to first in time to get Trey Topping 5-3. The first time Topping has been retired, and that's the second out of the inning.
I did like that McKenna set up outside, though, once again, because there's no reason that Nordell has to come in and give something over the plate. And okay, if you walk a guy, they are, the Crawdads are in the lead, but a good job there getting a ground ball over to King.
Now Michael Benavides, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. One swinging, one looking. Nordell trying to make it the hat trick. First pitch, Benavides shows bunt. Pulls back in time, but it's called strike 1 anyway. On the upper half, 0-1. Maybe just trying to not strike out that time was Benavides, trying to think, maybe I can beat one out if I lay one down. The 0-1, slider off the outside, 1-1.
Yeah, Benavides does have speed. It's always fascinating to see a lot of these teams show bunt. The Crawdads really don't do it hardly ever.
The 1-1. Benavides takes strike 2 called on the inner half with a fastball. And in danger of that hat trick is Benavides. Nordell trying to be the benefactor.
Yeah, one looking, one swinging.
See where Nordell goes here. McKenna sets on the inner half. The 1-2. Strike 3 swinging. Nate Nordell, sit him down. 2 strikeouts in the inning from the big righty. The Dads head to the 6th, up 5-3 here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Top of the 6th inning, the Crawdads lead it 5-3. The Mudcats were able to score 3 in the bottom of the 2nd, and then the Crawdads put up a single run in the 3rd, a single run in the 4th, and then a 3-spot, a crooked number in the 5th. And that's where we stand right now. Andrew McKenna brought in the 2nd run of the game for the Dads with a 2-out double in his last at bat. Stands in here. Still facing Brendan Morris, the big righty.
Yeah, McKenna looked so good in his last at-bat, able to line one into left center, bounced up against the fence.
First pitch, McKenna takes up high, ball 1. Andrew McKenna, Tyson Corio, Coleman Schmidt, 8-9, and then the top of the order for the Crawdads. 1-0, misses tight. I realize who Brendan Morris reminds me a little bit of Jacob Craig on the mound, just their build, the way they peer into to the batters. There's something about him. I don't know what it is. The 2-0 to McKenna. Swing and a miss on a fastball. 2-1.
Don't know why McKenna went after that one.
He's trying to plant one.
He is.
I agree with you. It was ball 3.
Yeah, it was.
The 2-1. McKenna fouls this one back just over us.
That one he just missed. If he's able to turn on that and get good wood on it, it's probably somewhere down the right field line and out of the ballpark.
2-2 to the Crawdads backstop. Morris peers in. Now readies. The 2-2. McKenna takes way high. Ball 3.
Morris has thrown a lot of pitches already. He's up to 82 now.
The Dads hit him hard last inning.
They did.
Even their outs were hard outs. 3-2. McKenna takes up and in, ball 4. Reaches base for the 2nd time today, and the Dads, just like the way they started the last frame, have a leadoff base runner.
A great start for the Crawdads and a really good eye display there by McKenna. And it's really good to see out of Andrew. The bat hopefully coming along now. The defense is always going to be there. Never have to worry about that.
Now Tyson Corio 0 for 2 with a pop out and a ground out. Trying to get in that hit column. First pitch. Just a little low with the fastball, 1-0. Morris, big righty with a lively fastball. It's looked really good at times today. The 1-0 to Corio. Up high with the fastball, 2-0.
It's really that curveball that has let him down. He hasn't really had any secondary stuff to go to. And it's made it easier for the Crawdads really just to lock in on the fastball and not worry about anything else.
The 2-0, Corio fouls a fastball back off to the screen, 2-1.
Not the softest of screens here. Chain link fence. You know who did have a very soft screen, though? San Luis Obispo.
Yeah.
That's like a hockey net.
Fun place to play.
Great place. Hopefully the Crawdads can get there for the playoffs.
The 2-1, Corio takes down low, ball 3. So in danger of walking 2 straight batters is Morris. The dangerous Coleman Schmidt waiting on deck. Morris is ready. The 3-1. High pop-up. Back behind us. Into the grass, 3-2.
Funny you said the dangerous Coleman Schmidt. He flashed us a big tiger grin there, but he is dangerous.
I didn't see the tiger grin.
Yeah, he turned and smiled. He's trying to time up Morris here in the on-deck circle.
Full count to Corio. Morris, pickoff move. Back in safely. On a hop is Andrew McKenna. Five to 3, the Dads lead here in the top of the 6th inning. 3-2. Corio takes up high, ball 4. Nice at bat. Corio gets on base, and we're going to have a mound visit.
I was wondering how long it would take, but you're almost obligated to go out there and check on your pitcher after he issues back-to-back walks, and then you have the very dangerous, as you put it, Coleman Schmidt stepping into the box. This is This is going to be tough sledding here for Brendan Morris. And unfortunately, the bullpens here at Vanden are not in sight. They're outside the fencing. So we don't really know who's warming up, if there's anybody warming up.
I see some shadows, maybe.
I do too, some shuffling around back there, but
it's almost like mysterious. Like, we're not going to let you know who's coming into the game next.
yeah, the Crawdads can do the same.
Right. Seeming to work with Nate Nordell.
The pitchers probably love it in the bullpen, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
They can snack on whatever they want, maybe eat a few hot dogs.
Well, just ask Jack Ben Shoshan, who ate an entire snow cone during the game up in Lincoln.
That snow cone
on the
game.
4th of July. Right. You know Jordan's flu game. Welcome to Jack Ben Shoshan's snow cone game.
Where then he had to get up and pinch
Face
it.
95,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Well, Coleman Schmidt's going to hit. It's still Brendan Morris on the mound. Runners on first and second, no outs. 5-3 the score. Schmidt 1 for 2 with a walk and a double. First pitch, Schmidt takes down low, blocked behind the plate by Topping.
Busy day for Topping. He's had to reach down, up, left, right, pretty much everywhere. Morris has walked 6 now.
The 1-0. Schmidt leaves the curveball outside, 2-0.
Seen a different Schmidt up in the box lately. Much more patient Coleman Schmidt.
Was getting his way early on and has now had to adjust. The 2-0, Schmidt takes a fastball, called strike one, over the outer edge. Morris peers in. McKenna on second. Tyson Corio, the runner, on first. The 2-1. Schmidt takes up high with the fastball, 3-1. Morris not doing himself any favors here.
At risk of walking a third straight, 7 for the day.
3-1 is the count to the best mistake hitter in the CCL, Coleman Schmidt. Don't want to have to leave him one. The 3-1. Schmidt, line drive, right center field. That's going to get into the gap. Coming home and scoring is McKenna. Corio's right behind him. They're going to send him in, and he's going to score. Schmidt's around second. Schmidt's into third with a triple. He dives head first. The Dads extend their lead. It's 7-3. Don't give Coleman Schmidt something to hit.
He was going for 3 all the way there. He knew that he hit that into the gap, and he was just hustling. And John Jensen, the coach over there at third for the Crawdads, his arm might be a little tired there after standing there and waving everybody home. Way to clear the bases, Coleman Schmidt.
Here's Joey Donnelly, who walked in his first at-bat. 7-3 now the score. The Dads just keep adding on. Still no outs. First pitch to Donnelly, way up high with the fastball, 1-0. I think this would be a really good situation for Joey Donnelly to sit dead red on a fastball and, I don't know, take one over the head of Telly Hill out and right. The 1-0. Donnelly takes strike one, fastball.
He's got the power to do it, and he knows he's been stuck on 4 home runs for a while and facing a pitcher out there right now who is in a real vulnerable position.
The 1-1. Donnelly leaves a curveball outside, 2-1.
One of the things, though, he's going to need to get a pitch over the plate for Donnelly to hit. A rough inning for Morris.
He readies and fires. Donnelly takes down and in, 3-1. The dangerous Ryan Brome waits on deck. How many guys are we going to say? The dangerous, the dangerous, the dangerous.
There's a lot of TNT on this team, man.
No kidding. A lot of good hitters on this Crawdads team. Now Morris goes from the stretch. He was going from the windup for 4 pitches. The 3-1, ball 4.
Third walk.
Donnelly, a little 0-for-0 with 2 walks. And if I'm the Mudcats, I'm taking out my pitcher, and that's exactly what's happening. Quick little mound visit, and I'm sure all this is going to say is, hey, Brendan Morris, you did a really good job, and kind of just exploded in the last couple frames. 8-3 is the score. Runners on the corner, still no outs. The Dads looking to expand when we come back here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. new pitcher for the Dirty Fish, Nicholas Romanowski, the righty, has pitched in a game this summer, has gone an inning and 2/3, given up 4 runs on 6 hits. Tough outing against Lincoln, and he'll inherit a really tough situation. 7-3 is the score. The Crawdads are leading this one here in the top of the 6th inning. Coleman Schmidt tripled to get his way onto third. He brought in 2 runs, and then Joey Donnelly walked. He's on first. No outs. Ryan Brome, 2 for 3 today. Driven in a pair.
And nothing new for the Crawdads. Scoring runs in the middle innings has been a hallmark of this team. Even in the loss on Sunday, that's where their runs came.
Romanowski, the righty, delivers the first pitch up high. Ball 1. Brome thought about it for a second, but didn't pull the trigger. Too smart for that. 1-0. Brome swings through a fastball, 1-1.
Figured he was going to get another one up there and make a bid at it.
Now the count even at 1 to Brome with runners on the corners. No outs still. 7-3 ball game. Crawdads bats have come alive. The 1-1. Brome takes strike 2 called. Fastball. Paints the outer edge. You hear some complaining from his mom out in the stands. One of the biggest Crawdads fans. 1-2 to Brome. The set and the pitch is flipped. Back to the screen, foul.
Now, Brome no stranger to this count. Brome definitely not a stranger to 2 strikes on.
Romanowski, the big righty, wears the number 34. 1-2. He's ahead in the count to Ryan Brome. Brome somehow gets a bat on this one, chops at third base side. Jones over, the throw to first. He's in time. The return throw to the plate, not in time. Schmidt comes in to score, making his way over to third is Donnelly on the play. And Ryan Brome somehow brings in another run.
I like
Fielder's choice and an E5. Or excuse me, fielder's choice and an E3.
I did like the decision there by Santander to come home with it. The throw was just offline and out of the reach of the catcher Topping. For a second, it looked like they may have been able to get 2, but the throw just nowhere near the home plate. So Crawdads get another run. Taking advantage of mistakes today are the Dads.
So now 8-3 the score for Matt King, who's singled in his last at bat. First pitch way down. In the dirt, gets behind the catcher, and coming in to score on the wild pitch is Joey Donnelly. It's now 9-3. So, a rough entrance for Romanowski.
Crawdads now with more runs here today than they had on the road trip down south. No, same amount.
Same amount.
Because they scored 3 in that second game against Santa Barbara and then 6 against San Luis Obispo, so they're getting closer to more.
1-0 is the count to Matt King. Romanowski delivers, and King takes ball 2 off the outside. What I like about Ron McGaff behind the plate today is even though this game is kind of getting out of hand, he's not changing his zone, not giving anything. The 2-0, King takes strike 1 called. I think it's important, I think, for umpires to recognize that these guys are, as much as they're playing for team wins, they're playing for numbers. They're playing to show their coaches their improvements over the summer, as the 2-1 to King is fouled off. So every at-bat, important.
Oh, it's all about experience, and it's about experience for the umpires as well. This is a nice feather in their cap to call big-time summer baseball, collegiate summer ball, that is. CCL, one of the biggest.
2-2, misses high.
One of the biggest summer leagues along there with Northwoods and the Cape in the Northeast.
Kind of making its way up as the CCL.
Mm-hmm. All-Star Game's going to be on Bally's on July 20th.
3-2, King, ground ball, foul, third base side. Still trying to figure out my plans for that weekend, or that midweek contest. I want to go. would like to see some more of Coleman Schmidt, Ryan Brome, Ryan Ellis. The guys I assume are going to be in the game. The 3-2 King. Ground ball, the shortstop, Hill, up with it. Takes a double clutch, but fires the first in time to get Matt King. Also in that game, probably Hollis Fanning.
I was going to say,
Probably Ryan Fleming.
you would think Fanning, you would think Fleming.
I think Hollis Fanning's a top 3 pitcher in the entire CCL. You can put him up there with the pair from Santa Barbara and Osman and Smith. First pitch, Ellis lines this one into right field for a base hit. Ellis on base for the first time today, though he did hit a sac fly in his last at bat.
Parker Smith was excellent. Graham Osman, very good pitcher as well. They'll definitely be there.
4 runs have come home for the Dads this inning. 3 walks, and Coleman Schmidt's triple has been the real backbreaker. Now Jack Ben Shoshan, 0 for 1, or still 0 for 0 on the day. Had a sac fly his last at bat, also 2 walks. First pitch misses high. Nine to 3 is the score. You're in the top of the 6th inning. Jack Ben Shoshan, the hitter, with Ryan Ellis on first. Romanowski sets and fires. Ben Shoshan takes called strike 1 on an off-speed pitch. Count even at 1. Four runs already home for the Crawdads this inning, looking to add on. The 1-1. Ben Shoshan takes down low, ball 2. Ellis was dancing off of first before that last pitch. We'll see if anything is on. Likely not, with the 6-run Crawdad lead. The 2-1 to Ellis. Ben Shoshan fouls this off back behind the plate. Topping giving chase, but it lands just foul, 2-2.
It's weird to say, but I think Jack Ben Shoshan has looked better after coming back
Oh, definitely.
than he did before, especially in the batter's box.
100%. Deuces are wild with Ryan Ellis on first. The 2-2, Ben Shoshan. Chopper, third base side. Jones up with it on a couple hops. Fires to first on the run. Makes the play in time to get Ben Shoshan at first for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Crawdads score 4 times on 2 hits. They leave Ellis stranded on first with a couple errors in the frame. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. 9-3 the score here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. That add 4, and now they lead 9-3 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Chase Hilda, Tasso Foster, and Telly Hill due up for the Mudcats. Nate Nordell still on the mound, struck out a pair in his first inning of work, though did have to wait a long time to get back out to the mound. He'll be facing Hilda, who's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single on the day. First pitch, showing bunt, is Hilda, but he takes strike 1 on the outer edge. 0-1.
Nordell looking good so far out of the pen.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss. A sword there on the changeup off the outside, and it's 0-2. Nate Nordell usually looks pretty good. He's had a really pretty underrated summer, I think. You know, you don't think of him with Seth Higdon, with Idris Azani, but he's right up there numbers-wise. The 0-2, this is down and in, 1-2.
Man, I don't think Hilda wanted to swing a few pitches ago. Couldn't hold back. I mean, no, I agree. I mean, Nordell is one of these guys out of the pen that doesn't always come to the top of the list when you start thinking, but when you look at how he actually pitches, he's mighty impressive.
The 1-2, fastball up high, 2-2. Right, he's not going to walk batters. He only has 2 walks this summer. He strikes out, enough. He heaps the ball on the ground. He gets weak contact. He's just he's a good pitcher. McKenna sets on the outside. Nordell, 2-2. Just up high with the fastball, 3-2. From 0-2 to 3-2, Hilda has worked it back. Nordell sets and fires. Hilda fouls it back to the screen. Healthy cut. Count stays 3-2. Tasso Foster waits on deck. But for now, the attention is only with Nordell to chase Hilda. Nordell sets and fires. Hilda strikes out swinging. Nordell goes back to the changeup for the first out of the inning.
Well, finished the bottom of the 5th with a strikeout. Starts out the bottom of the 6th with a strikeout. Nordell's on it today.
Now Tasso Foster has reached base twice, once on an error, once on a single. Depends on who you ask. He's 2 for 2. If you ask me, he's 1 for 2. Scored a run. Nordell works exclusively from the stretch. The first pitch to Foster is a slider that bounces up to McKenna, 1-0.
I still have it as an E1 in my book. I should
I'm not changing it.
I should probably change. It's,
I'll let you change it.
I gotta keep it official.
You're nicer than I am. 1-0 from Nordell. High drive to center field. Schmidt ranging under it. Now settling and makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
That wind not doing any favors there for Tasso Foster. Put a good lick on that ball.
Now Telly Hill, 0 for 2, a fielder's choice and a pop-up. Similar to Peyton Tolley the other day, do you think Telly Hill's ever hit in the 8 spot before?
No.
This kid can hit.
He has so much power.
First pitch, Hill off the fist, third base side, just foul.
And even that, most guys hitting that has no business even getting that far on the ground, and he's able to muscle it past the third base bag, although it was foul, but still.
A lot of raw strength.
Compact too. Able to get the bat through the zone pretty quickly.
The 0-1. Hill takes on the outside corner, 0-2.
I think Nordell has earned that call for sure. He's been a strike thrower so far.
He's ahead of the count, trying to get his 4th strikeout. Nordell sets and fires. Ground ball third base side. King up with it. Flips it on to first in time to get Telly Hill. Nate Nordell, another 1-2-3 inning. He sets down Hilda, Foster, and Hill. We'll head to the top of the 7th inning. Alon to stay back on play-by-play here on the Crawdads Streaming Network.
Welcome back to Vanden High School. On to say Austin Oda with you on the call here. The Crawdads enjoying a 6-run lead. It is 9-3 Walnut Creek over the home team Solano Mudcats. Crawdads going to be up to bat. It'll be Kavares Tears, Andrew McKenna, and Tyson Corio, 7, 8, and 9. And Kavares Tears going to walk into the batter's box here. So far, the line score, 9 runs, 8 hits, an error for the Crawdads, 3 runs, 5 hits, and an error for Solano. Still Nicholas Romanowski out on the mound for the Mudcats. He's thrown 18 pitches so far. This will be the 5th batter that he's faced. And the first pitch to Kavares Tears bounces up to the catcher, Trey Topping. The count 1-0. So far, Tears is 1 for 3. Pitch swung on and missed there. Good fastball from Romo. Count 1-1. Romanowski fires, and Tears pops this up foul and out of play.
You know, I really thought there was a new pitcher named Romo. I was really confused for a second.
That's Romanowski. Tears down in the count here, 1-2, a ball and 2 strikes. Crawdads designated hitter looking to get things going, and he hits this hard and through the hole on the left side. That bounces into left field. Tears has his 2nd hit of the ballgame. Some good swings today from Kavares Tears. That one better than the hit he had up the middle that took that huge bounce off the pitcher's mound. This one he just squared up, went to the opposite field with it, and Kavares Tears over at first. He was caught stealing, trying to take second back in the 4th, the last time he singled. And here comes Andrew McKenna. McKenna 1 for 2. Pitch comes in here, and McKenna falls over. Well, he's kind of laughing about it, and I hit him right in the calf. Boy, McKenna, is that the only guy that laughs after getting hit?
Oh, absolutely.
In the legs and then falling over on his butt? He ends up at first, and he's laughing about it. He's so tough.
It's just a dude.
Now, he is. McKenna, you can definitely call him that. He is a dude. So McKenna on first. Tears up at second now, and the number 9 hitter, the switch hitting Tyson Corio, still batting lefty as Romanowski is a right-handed pitcher. Corio 0 for 2, but has walked today. Came around to score. Pitch here to Corio, and this misses. Count 1-0 as a visit from the Vanden High School football team. Walk into their training facility behind the baseball stadium here. Pitch misses high. I think possibly the JV team and also the varsity team now coming out.
Very clear difference in
size
between those two.
I went, boy, man, that's the 2021 state champs. They're small. 2-0 pitch. This misses high and in. Count 3 balls and no strikes to Tyson Corio.
Yeah, that looked a little like my high school football team, my 0-8 Matadors.
Uh-oh.
You know, our tallest guy, our left tackle, 5'9", 180.
But you learned great lessons about life, Austin.
Sure.
Oh, Corio ahead here. A couple of runners on.
I did some PA for that team. I learned what it was like to lose every day. Of course, after my baseball season, which when I learned what it was like to lose every day.
Looking back to second is Romanowski. Still nobody out here. The top of the 7th. This pitch, that's in there. Romanowski able to fire in a strike. Count 3-1 to Tyson Corio. The Crawdads up 9-3 right now. Have not conceded any runs since the 2nd. That's where all 3 of the Solano Mudcats runs happened. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Otherwise, the combination of Perkins and Nordell has been stellar. Pitch here to Corio. This misses. And Corio's walked. Both runners were in motion there. But it doesn't matter. The bases are now loaded. That is the 2nd time that Tyson Corio has walked, and the second straight time for Corio as well.
You know, walking 2 straight is not a good thing to do in front of Coleman Schmidt.
No, it's not. I think the last time when he came up and that happened, he had a
was that a walk-off grand slam?
well, and today, McKenna and Corio took walks, and Schmidt hit that 2 RBI triple. But the grand slam, maybe a little more epic. Pitch here to Schmidt, misses high. Looking for the breaking ball there was Romanowski. The count 1-0.
You know, I wouldn't hate another salami from Schmitty here.
That would be outstanding for Coleman Schmidt. A couple of grand slams in one season as he takes here, low and away, and the count 2-0. Elsewhere around the CCL at Arnold Field up in Sonoma, the Stompers are winning 1-0 against the Healdsburg Prune Packers. The Crawdads hoping for some help there as the Dads are game back of Healdsburg. The Arroyo Seco Saints and the Conejo Oaks tied at 1 in the top of the 4th. That's in Pasadena. Pitch here to Schmidt. Are able to get a run as to game road trip down south.
You know, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You know, like 10 runs in a game is great, but the fact that they only scored 10 in 3 games, and consider that none of those came in the first game, I don't know. I think the Dads will take a little 10 spot back when it starts to matter.
Maybe spread the wealth. Pitch here is checked on, but called a strike. Joey Donnelly in the batter's box. McKenna was able to move up to third after that double play. Pitch here to Donnelly. He takes and misses low, and the count 1-1.
I want to see Joey Donnelly.
Nice combination.
Right.
That's his new nickname. Foul and out of play. Count 1-2. The OC Riptide ahead of the San Luis Obispo Blues, 1-0. That's at the Great Park in Irvine. That's in the top of the second. And the Medford Rogues, a non-CCL team, with a 1-0 lead right now in the bottom of the second over the Lincoln Potters at McBean Stadium in Lincoln. This is fouled and off the leg of Donnelly.
You know, that 1-0 lead looks great, but real Crawdads fans will remember that the Dads were down 4-1 against the West Coast Kings in the 27-4 game. So
think about that.
That's in some Crawdads lore right there.
The Kings really did jump on. He's okay. Boy, that was a scary moment there. But it hit right off the strongest part of the helmet, right on the crown there, and it just bounced away. Donnelly looks like he's all right. Manager Cummings is going to ask him how he's doing. Donnelly looks like he's no worse for wear, but always scary when a ball comes up and in there and actually makes contact with the man in the box.
I think he's okay, but yeah, that is scary. That's just not the part you want to get hit.
No. So Donnelly has a lead off of first after being hit in the head. He is all right. He looks good right now. Pitch here to Brome. Brome swings at this, but hits this foul down the left field line. That lands out of play over near the bullpen of the Crawdads. Count 0-1. Hate seeing that, really do. I mean, it doesn't matter what level of baseball it is. You never want to see someone get hit up top. Donnelly does look all right, though, so that is a very positive sign. 0-1 pitch to Brome, and he goes after this and hits this foul out of play as well. So the count 0-2. Ryan Brome. There are 2 away here in the top of the 7th. The Crawdads lead 10-3. Pitch to Brome, and just fighting is Ryan Brome. Another foul ball. Count still 0-2.
That's what he does. We haven't gotten to say the death taxes and Ryan Brome taking walks line in a while, but he likes fighting.
Came into this game, 25 walks. 0-2 once again to Brome, and a little tapper, and it actually gets over the first baseman's head and ends up in right field. It took a hop, and then the second, it rebounded off the grass. It just found some more energy there and went right over Santander's head. That, kind of a weird scenario there. I think Santander thought the hop was going to be much lower. Brome did not hit it that hard, but that's a hit for Ryan Brome. That's his 3rd hit of the game.
And third RBI.
Yep. It is now 11-3. I was very surprised Ryan Brome able to get an RBI out of that. Just beating the ball into the ground. So here's Matt King, and here's a curveball that spiked. Count 1-0.
Would be nice to see a good swing out of Matt King here. He does have a hit, but it was a looping fly ball down the right field line.
One-0 pitch to King, and he hits this hard on the ground. Going to a knee to make the play is Jones. Throws on to second for out number 3, but the Crawdads now have an 11-3 lead. They are able to score 2 in the top of the 7th, thanks to Ryan Brome as well as Coleman Schmidt. So, 8-run lead for Walnut Creek, trying to gain ground on Healdsburg, or at the very worst, stay just a game back. We'll see what happens the rest of the way. Bottom of the 7th coming up. The Mudcats will be up to bat. It'll be Jaden Jones, Jared Wood, and Kenny DeSalle, 9, 1, and 2 for them. And it looks like Nate Nordell's still on the mound for the Dads when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network.
Third baseman, number 18, Jaden Jones.
Bottom of the 7th inning, it's 11-3 Crawdads. They've scored runs in every inning since the 3rd, so a good sign for them offensively. That's why they're up by 8. Here's Jaden Jones in the box, and first pitch from Nordell to Jones is a strike right down the heart of the plate. Count 0-1. Good fastball being featured here by Nordell.
Now the question just becomes, how long does Nordell go in this game?
0-1 pitch, and this bounces right into the mask of McKenna. He's all right. Tough young man is Andrew McKenna. Yeah, how far does Nordell go? I mean, saw Azani eat a couple of innings on Sunday. Nordell looks good so far. I mean, really, unless you want to get someone some extra experience here, no reason to take him out. He'll definitely finish this off. This is foul tipped right into McKenna, right around the belt line. And McKenna is going to take a moment here.
Yeah, if Andrew McKenna has to get up and take a breath, it got him good.
Yeah, it hurt. So far, Jaden Jones is 1 for 1. Did walk in the 2nd, had a hit in the 4th. But really, this pitching staff, other than a few shaky moments from Mark Perkins, has done a very good job today for the Crawdads. They've only, between Perkins and Nordell, have given up 5 hits. As this pitch is hit to left, and that is fair down the left field line. Digging for 2 is Jones, and he is into second with a stand-up double. That is the 6th hit of the ball game for the Mudcats, so a leadoff double for Solano. And the lineup card turns over. It's Jared Wood
Next up for the Mudcats.
Wood is 0 for 3 today.
Number 20, Jerry Wood.
That was the first hit surrendered by Nate Nordell out of the bullpen. A runner in scoring position. It's 11-3 Crawdads. Solano looking to inch closer. First pitch here is fouled back into the backstop by Jared Wood. Count 0-1. So Nordell right now, you figure he's going to get through the 7th, and then it becomes a question of, do you go to 2 separate pitchers for the 8th and the 9th, or I mean,
I think it's going to be. I'd assume from knowing the hot list to an extent. I think it's Ben Clark the rest of the way out, assuming he doesn't get into trouble.
pitch here from Nordell. This misses low. The count even at 1-1, and yeah, it'd be good to see Ben Clark come out, but Nordell's got to keep taking care of business out here. Crawdads want to keep this lead as large as possible. Definitely do not want to mess around with Solano, who last summer was prolific when it came to comebacks. And this pitch bounces up to McKenna. It gets away from him for a moment. He's going to throw over to third, but not in time. Jaden Jones ends up over at third base. Good job by McKenna, though, to at least keep the ball in front of him. But Jones moves up. Pitch from Nordell. This misses. Three-one pitch from Nordell coming right here, and this misses low. That's a walk. So Nordell frustrated there as he now has runners on the corners to deal with.
Next up for the Mudcats, this center fielder, number 28.
Still nobody out.
I think Nordell just needs to trust his stuff a little bit. As much of a cliche as it is, it's worked for him so far. He just, keep the ball on the ground. Have your defense play.
Yeah, have your defense play. Something the Crawdads have been good at so far this evening. Pitch here misses low, and the count 1-0 to Kenny DeSell. DeSell 0 for 3, has a couple of strikeouts as well, both swinging. Wind's starting to kick up here a little bit at Vanden High School. This pitch is swung on and missed. Drawing even there is Nordell. Good pitch. Going right after Kenny DeSell, who is a very good player for the Mudcats. Always rock solid out in center. He's got a lot of CCL experience playing last summer as well. 1-1 pitch, and this bounces up to McKenna, but picked nicely. However, the count now 2 balls and a strike. Nordell with that last pitch is now up to 39. Next pitch will be number 40. Thrown 22 strikes to 17 balls. This one's a strike. Oh, good job by Nordell there. Still nobody out here. And the pitch from Nordell. This misses. Nordell looking low and away there for the target. Could not get it. Now he has to fire a strike. The pitch. And this misses low. That's a walk. And Nordell now has walked back-to-back batters for the Mudcats. First Jared Wood, now Kenny DeSell, who's still 0 for 3 but gets over to first. The bases are loaded. DeSell at first, Wood at second, Jones over at third, and here comes Cole Santander, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts looking, and manager Brant Cummings is going to have a little bit of a chat here with Nate Nordell. The infield coming in, and obviously this is warranted as the bases are occupied. He wants to get the defense straight here. Crawdads would trade a run for an out here.
Oh, absolutely. Especially they trade a run for 2 outs.
Yeah, they would do that as well. So we'll see if Nordell is able to deliver. At this point late in the game here in the bottom of the 7th, it's just about getting enough outs to get out of this thing. Need 9 more, do the Crawdads. Still no one out here, and this is the danger that's looming for Nate Nordell and Walnut Creek. As Cole Santander, the first baseman, who hits righty, stepping into the box here. Nowhere to put him. Nordell has his sign from McKenna. Kicks the leg, fires, and this is fouled. That'll land over near the bullpen of the Mudcats. The count 0-1, so way to get ahead there, Nate Nordell. A few more pitches like that. That's what the Crawdads are hoping for. A 1 pitch, and this misses. Just in. Count even at 1-1. Nordell taking a long look in. Now he fires. 1-1 pitch. There's a check swing, but the appeal. And Justin Ammett over at first says no. Santander didn't go. It looked pretty clear from our vantage point that he didn't swing the bat, so the count 2-1.
I like the idea, though, with the slider. Trying to get a ground ball. 2 outs.
Two-one pitch, and this is fouled. Out of play behind home plate. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nordell and the Crawdads just looking for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. It's an 11-3 ball game right now. However, Solano with the bases loaded has a chance to do some damage and give themselves a little bit of momentum. Something that has been on the side of the Crawdads since pretty much the 5th inning. The pitch here, and this is jammed foul. And making a run on it was the first baseman, Brome, but that hit off the top of the fence.
Only Ryan Brome could make that a close play.
Only Ryan Brome is going to try to get over there. Count stays at 2-2. I was a little surprised that he ended up making that run. The wind did just blow it back in to the fence. Back in now. That's the signal from home plate umpire Ron McGaff. The 2-2 pitch, and that looked like it was right down the pipe. Perhaps a little low. And now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nordell wanted that call. He shakes his head pretty visibly out there on the mound. He has to throw a strike here to the number 3 hitter, Cole Santander. The payoff pitch, and Santander hits this right over to Corio at second, looking for the double play at second base, and they get it. 2 outs there for the Crawdads. Nice job by Corio just to pick that perfectly. Did not let it hit the ground. Fired over to the covering Ellis at second base, and there's 2 away.
Well, so I imagine that they trade 2 outs for a run. How about trading 2 outs for no runs?
Yeah, 2 outs for no runs. That's a pretty good deal. Similar to a play about a week ago that Corio had where the ball clearly did hit the ground, but the first base umpire in that game said that Corio caught it without the ball bouncing.
The Dads took it, ran with it.
They did. So with 2 away, here's Trey Topping and takes the first pitch for a ball. The count 1-0. So the job here made significantly easier for Nate Nordell. Now he'll step back off and adjust the cap a little bit. Nordell now up to 50 pitches. 1-0 pitch, and this hits the zone right around the knees, the inner half, and the count 1-1. So now up above 50 pitches is Nate Nordell. You would think that this is going to be his last inning of work. So far, he's done a good job. 1-1 pitch looking for that slider on the outside corner, but it misses low and away. Count 2 balls and a strike to Trey Topping. Topping has been on base twice. Had a hit in the third, but most recently grounded out 5-3 in the fifth. So he's 1 for 3. Pickoff move over to first. But nothing doing.
Nate Nordell's arm has to be fuming right now.
He's throwing a lot of pitches. 2-1 pitch is hit hard on the ground over to the sliding Ellis, who tries to make a throw over to second. Now will throw over to first. Now wait a sec here. So
Is that another catcher's interference?
I think it is. That is a catcher's interference. So
To this game, both from Trey Topping?
to this game, both catcher on catcher crime. I've never seen that happen twice in a ball game. And
Wow.
have never seen it happen twice to the Crawdads. So catcher's interference there. The bases are loaded once again. Trey Topping for the second time on a catcher's interference reaches first base. Kenny DeSalle moves up to second. Staying at third is Jaden Jones. So a little bit out of the ordinary here that you see in a ball game. As the first pitch here bounces up to McKenna as Michael Benavidez is in the box. He has 3 strikeouts already today. Trying to avoid a certain hat. 1-0 pitch, and Benavidez gets all of this, hits this into center, but Cole Schmidt is going to have just enough room before the warning track. Wynn knocking that one down, and that's out number 3. That was a big bang off the bat, but right at Coleman Schmidt, and Nordell able to get out of the bottom of the 7th. It is still 11-3 Crawdads, and they have to be feeling fortunate right now. Top of the 8th coming up when we return. Crawdads are going to be up to bat. And it looks like Nick Romanowski is still going to be on the mound for the Mudcats. More baseball right around the corner here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Oh, welcome back here to Vanden High School. The Crawdads lead 11-3 over the Solano Mudcats. It looked like Nicholas Romanowski was coming out for another inning of work, but instead he is now walking off the field, and a position player who has pitched so far, at least once for the Mudcats, is on the mound. It's number 23, Noah Garcia, 6'3" lefty from Willamette University. He does have a win this summer. The Crawdads, that was the 9-8 victory for Solano. He was able to pitch. So Garcia's day is over. Or check that. Garcia's on the mound. The day for Romanowski is now over. Apologies there. A little bit surprised. So Romanowski came out to start the top of the 8th, and then he was signaled back. Not sure if his arm tightened up a little bit there or maybe a muscle cramp. His job now to try to get some outs, and 2 in the 7th, and now we're in the top of the 8th. It is 11-3 Crawdads. So far the Crawdads with 10 hits, an error. The Mudcats with their 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error themselves. It's going to be Ellis, Jack Ben Shoshan, and then Kavares Tears for the Crawdads. The final line on Romanowski, 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk. Didn't strike anybody out, faced 11, and for the starter, Brendan Morris, he went 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 9 runs, all earned, 7 walks, 3 strikeouts, faced 1 shy of 30. So here is Noah Garcia, second time that the Dads have seen him this summer. And the lefty delivers to Ryan Ellis, and he misses. The count 1-0. This pitch misses as well. Ellis ahead in the count. The 2-0 pitch, and there is a strike. Not much velocity from Noah Garcia.
So, what I know about Noah Garcia is actually a friend of Jeffrey Cambra, or one of our point streak data analysts.
2-1 pitch. Ellis hits this, and that's a little looping fly ball that lands in fair territory in right field. Ellis digging for 2. Is he going to round second? He will, and he will end up at third with a lead-off triple. The ball finally getting back into the infield. And Ellis with a try-bagger.
So from what I know about Garcia, he's not a pitcher. He's a position player primarily that I believe pitched a little bit in high school. Not one of their primary pitchers, but he has had to come in a couple times for the Mudcats team that has.
Solano 5 games back of Healdsburg. First pitch to Ben Shoshan misses, and the count 1-0. They're 4 games behind the second place Walnut Creek Crawdads and half a game behind third place Lincoln. And Ben in an 8-run ball game, it's 11. The count 1-2. Outwit Jack Bench topping, and then it gets away from him. He kind of did a little dance, looked all around him, ended up doing almost a complete spin, finally gets the ball. Ellis not going to run on that, not in a game that the Crawdads lead by 8. So the count, even 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 to Benshaw. Benshaw swings at it, hits it very high on the infield. Looking at it is Garcia. He's going to try to make the catch on the mound, and he does. And no, it's actually taken there.
It was Garcia.
Yeah, was it Garcia? It was. It ended up in his glove, right?
Yep.
Because Hilda came in to try to make a play on it, and they ended up falling. Now here comes Kavares Tears. Ellis still over at third.
Not the best at bat from Jack Ben Shoshan.
No, it's not. So Garcia able to catch the pop-up. And here's Tears. That was a play that had trouble written all over it with Hilda coming in. This pitch, a strike. And these are going to be tough for the Crawdads batters to kind of adjust to after seeing natural pitchers. Second man out of the bullpen, Garcia, throwing more like it's BP. As this one bounces away from topping, Ellis is going to stay put.
That's nice of him.
That is, and you do not want to show up the other team. It's already an 8-run ball game, and Ellis doing the right thing.
I've talked about this a lot with some of the guys on the team. I think it's more embarrassing when, guys stop playing hard. But, to each their own. I know Manager Cummings is not a guy that likes to add on.
Kavares, though, is thinking about it as he hits this hard, and that gets down in left field, bounces up against the wall. Tears is going to have a double. He is now 3 for 5. That RBI, his 16th of the summer.
Nice little day
For about a week. maybe a little longer. This pitch misses high. Count. 1-0 pitch to McKenna. This misses high as well. Right around the letters, and the count 2-0.
There used to be so much fun.
Strikes.
But at least Garcia's, kind
Is not your. They lead 12-3. The lefty Garcia delivers, and that's in the zone. Count 0-1 to Corio. Just one away here in the top of the 8th. Game that the Crawdads really took control of in the top of the 5th inning. And this pitch misses about collar high, and the count even at a ball pitch there from Garcia, and the count 1-2. Want to update you on the score up at Arnold Field in Sonoma, California. The Prune Packers now with a 2-1 lead in the top of the 6th. Corio hits this high, but foul. That'll land on the dirt. That rings the field here. About 40 feet past the right field line. Eventually lands over the fence and out of play. The pitch to Corio, and he fouls this back into the screen. Count still, a ball and 2 strikes to the switch hitter Tyson Corio, who's hitting righty. Corio had a phenomenal double play. He was able to help pull as a gravity curveball here misses. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. Corio reaches out and pokes this high into right field, but it is caught by Hill. And there's 2 away. So Corio 0 for 3 now. And here comes Coleman Schmidt, who, Austin, you always say he feasts on mistake pitches, and he may see one here from Garcia, not because Garcia is erratic or anything like that, but just because he is not a natural pitcher.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Coleman Schmidt hits one over that 320 and left.
Couple of runners on, 2 away. First pitch to Schmidt, and he takes a big rip at it, fouls it back into the backstop. The count 0-1.
With that said, I also wouldn't be surprised if we saw Schmidt just, try to poke a ball the other way. Piece one up a little bit.
He's looking to get that batting average back on track. Pitch here Schmidt takes.
We say
Say back on track. The reason we say he's hitting 367 coming into the ballgame, but he was up above 400 for so long, so maybe not a fair statement there by me. Pitch here, Schmidt takes high. Count 2-1. You had said it, though, for a while, Austin, that was not sustainable. I was rooting for it. I was saying, no, I think he can do it all summer.
Definitely.
I know you were rooting for him, too. Schmidt takes a cut here, comes up empty. Count even, 2-2. Crawdads will be back here at Vandenheim tomorrow at 5 p.m. against these very same Mudcats. Then on the road up in Healdsburg against the Packers on Thursday at 6 as Schmidt hits this on the ground. Ends up in center field. Kavares Tier is going to round third, and he'll come home to score. And another run for the Crawdads. It is now 13-3. Add another RBI for Coleman Schmidt today in cycle of the season.
This is a good at bat for Joey Donnelly, too. He's 0 for today, 0 for 0, but
first pitch to Donnelly, he takes the count 0-1.
now Garcia's not even doing the leg kick anymore. He's just throwing it in.
He's just trying to get it over
Right.
and doing something a little more natural for him. There's that leg kick again. 0-1 pitch, and Joey Donnelly swings at a fastball high. The count 0-2. Oh-2 pitch to Donnelly, and he takes here, low and away, and the count a ball and 2 strikes. So the Crawdads, a couple more road games until Friday when they'll be back at home at Monte Vista. This pitch, Donnelly beats this into the ground. It's going to take a couple of hops over to the first baseman, Santander, who steps on the first base bag for out number 3. But the Crawdads able to get 2 more runs. It is now 13-3 Walnut Creek. Bottom of the 8th coming up. See if there is a new pitcher for the Dads. When we return here from Vanden High on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network.
Now pitching for the Crawdads, number 32, Ben Clark.
Back here at Vanden High School, it's 13-3 Crawdads. They have scored in every inning except for the first and the second. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now the top of the 8th, able to put runs up. It's been a good day offensively for the Crawdads. The Mudcats haven't scored since all the way back in the bottom of the second, where they got all 3 of their runs. There is a new pitcher for the Crawdads. It's Ben Clark. Comes in 1-0 with a 6.17 ERA, so an opportunity for him to get that a little bit lower here. He's thrown 11 2/3 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts, 6 walks, given up 14 hits. His last appearance was against the Lincoln Potters at home for the Crawdads on July 6th. An 8-4 win for the Crawdads. Was able to pitch an inning, although he did give up 2 runs, both earned, a hit. However, a positive out of that, he did strike out 3. So that was good for Mr. Clark. And it's going to be Chase Hilda, Tasso Foster, and Telly Hill for the Mudcats, who trail by 9. Pitch to Chase Hilda. This misses low. A fastball on the count 1-0. The final line on Nate Nordell: 3 innings, gave up a hit, no runs, walked 2, struck out 3, faced 12. A very good outing for Nate Nordell out of the pen, able to eat a few innings for the Crawdads. Swing and a miss, foul tipped into the ground. The count 1-1.
Outing of the summer for Nate Nordell, in my opinion. You know, you can say that one against the Kings, where he ate 3 innings there, but that one doesn't count.
Does not count for division standings, so better to do it against a CCL North opponent. The 1-1 pitch, and a big rip and a miss there. Count 1-2. Sure, Manager Cummings would like to just keep it at a 3-pitcher day today, depending on how many pitches Ben Clark fires here in this bottom of the 8th, as this breaking ball bounces up to McKenna. The count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chase Hilda is 1 for 3. Has struck out a couple of times, did have a hit and came around to score in the second. This pitch shatters the wood, bounces over to King off a third. He throws on to first, and it cannot be dug out by Ryan Brome. That'll be a throwing error on King. And had to watch out for some splinters there, did both King and Ben Clark, as now he'll hand part of that bat to one of the coaches for the Mudcats. Oh, an error on Matt King.
You know, even though this is a wood bat league, I feel like this is one of the first times, if not the first times, that I've seen a bat break.
There was one other that was broken in a Crawdads game this summer. I'm trying to think of who it was.
Oh, I remember this. Someone gave it to a fan.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
I think it was Duroff.
It was, and I think he broke a nice bat too. So here's Tasso Foster with a runner on first. That's Chase Hilda. First pitch to Foster, misses low. Count 1-0. This pitch misses. Low once again. The count 2-0. So for Matt King over at third base, this is just third base. That's his 6th error there from Ben Clark. 2 balls and a strike. To Tasso Foster, Telly Hill on deck. Foster 2 for 3 today. And a breaking ball there misses. The count 3 balls and a strike, although depending if anybody actually goes back and it cleans up the scoring on that pitch. And this is chopped over to the dugout of the Crawdads. Count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I thought Perkins also had a great outing today. I know he got tagged for a few runs, but I thought when he was comfortable, he looked very good.
Yeah, I thought it was up there with the best of his summers so far. Just the stuff-wise, up there.
Payoff pitch and a slider that just misses a little bit low, and that's a walk. 2 runners on now. Chase Hilda moves up into scoring position over at second base. Foster at first, and here comes Telly Hill. Crawdads do lead by 10. It's 13-3, but there's nobody out here. And the Mudcats going to try to score some runs. Ben Clark just trying to get the Crawdads some outs. And the first pitch to Hill, fastball, knee high over the heart of the plate. Count 0-1. Good pitch there from Ben Clark, coming back after firing ball 4 to Foster. Hill 1 for 3 today. This pitch in there. Count 0-2. The pitch from Clark. Hill gets under this, hits this into center field. Shading a little bit to our right is Coleman Schmidt. He'll throw back in, but the runner from second will advance to third. There are runners on the corners for the Mudcats, but 1 away.
So I was under the belief that Telly Hill was 0 for coming into that plate appearance. Yeah, the hit in question came in his first at bat when he had a chopper over to Duroff at first base.
Duroff had some indecision about either going to first base or coming home.
Right, you could say it was a fielder making a choice on the ball. Oh, fielder's choice, right. Which, last time I checked, wasn't a hit.
Wasn't a hit, but Hill had the hit. He is now 1 for 4. As this pitch is popped up high, but that's going to land right behind Austin and myself.
This would be a good place for me to catch that elusive caught ball.
I don't know. This would be tough. It's got to come right down here, and if it does,
You're out of the way.
I'm out of the way. I'm covering the equipment here. Can't afford new equipment. The pitch to Jones, he swings and misses, and the count 0-2. Jones has had a good day at the plate today. He's 2 for 2. Had a single in the 4th, a double in the 7th, walked in the 2nd. After this, a ball that was low and tries pulling it down the left field line, but it ends up foul. Count stays 0-2. On deck, Jared Wood. 1 away. Runners on first and third. Pitch here. This is hit on the ground. Takes a few bounces over to Corio, who tags second base and then makes an off-balance throw over to first for the double play. Well done, Tyson Corio. And able to get the Crawdads out of the bottom of the 8th without surrendering a run. It is still 13-3 network. Top of the 9th inning, the Crawdads firmly in control of this game. It is 13-3. Crawdads getting back on track offensively today after, ooh boy, pitch comes in high and in to Ryan Brome, but after not being able to put up a whole ton of runs on the road trip down south, although they were able to score 6 on Sunday against the Blues. They still lost, however. Brome ahead 1-0, and he hits this on the ground over to the first baseman. It kicks off of Santander's glove, and then it was collected by the second baseman, Hilda, who tried to flip it back over to first, and safe is Ryan Brome. So that would be a hit. If
I was gonna say if they're giving hits on the other side, we can take a Ryan Brome hit this time. He needs that 4 for a day.
I'm waiting on the update here in Point Streak. If that was the Mudcats, it would be a hit. We'll see if they do award Brome the hit here.
Oh.
And they're going to say error. They're going to say error on Santander.
I'm giving him a hit.
Here's Matt King up to the plate with Brome over on first. Brome has done a great job of getting on base today, though, the 4th time he's been on. He's now officially 3 for 6.
4 for 6. Who said that?
1-1 here to King. And King hits this hard down the left field line. That lands fair. Brome gonna stay at second. That's a hit for Mac.
Just petty.
That one easy to score,
Right,
though.
definitely.
That one very easy to score.
Next up, the shortstop, number 2.
That was the second hit today for Matt King.
Matty Ice, as they call him.
Matty Ice.
Not to be confused with the Matty Ice.
King 2 for 6 as Ellis hits this very high. Going back is the third baseman Jones, and it lands. Jones could not track that down. It fell right in front of him as he was tracking back into shallow left field, and the Crawdads have the bases loaded.
Well, that's Jared Wood's ball. He just lost it in the sun. You could see him shading his eyes and trying to find it.
Tough break for Jones.
Pincho Sham.
Ellis now with 3 hits. He's 3 for 5. And Jack Ben Shoshan not able to square this up. Count 0-1. Still nobody out here. 13-3 Walnut Creek. Top of the 9th. There are no lights here at Vanden. And daylight's starting to run out, but we're getting towards the end of this ball game. This pitch misses high.
I always thought it was, pretty scary to start a game at 5 here.
When that was the announced time, I was a little worried. Out there and right, seeing a couple of little flares out there down the right field line land for the Crawdads, but not this one for Jack Ben Shoshan, so there's one away.
Next up. Next
So here comes the DH, Kavares Tears. Tears has had a good day so far. He's gotten 3 hits in his 5 at-bats. Maybe the most impressive that RBI double he had in the 8th. Garcia fires to Tears. Tears hits this into the ground. Is that going to make it through the hole? No, it's fielded by Hilda over off of second. He fires on to first. Now they're out there.
The ball was caught by a player that wasn't on the bag, but I really just think they're.
I think they're giving the outs there.
It wasn't. It was that there were 2 players covering, and the ball went to the glove of the person that wasn't actually on the bag. But it's okay. You can hear a couple dads saying, "You didn't touch the bag. You didn't touch the bag."
This pitch misses high to McKenna. Second pitch to McKenna, and did that come in? No, it didn't.
It is
Hit the bat. I was wondering if it hit the hands, and then immediately saw the reaction. And well, you know what? McKenna is kind of crazy. He might be smiling after getting hit on the hands. That might be like a hot, warm breakfast for him. As McKenna takes this ball out to right field, and that'll be another run for the Crawdads and an RBI single for Andrew McKenna. It is now 14-3. Check that, 15-3.
Too many to count.
Not too many to count, boy. This pitch hit over to the third baseman Jones, who juggles it, and that's going to be an error on Jones. This inning will continue. It is now 16-3 Walnut Creek.
Well, Coleman Schmidt's got an opportunity to do something pretty special.
2 cycles in a season. The only problem here is Noah Garcia is the man on the mound, and I don't know if he has the velocity. That's in there for a strike. Count 0-1. Crawdads with runners on first and second.
Oh, he's waiting for it. He's ready. Saw that back leg load.
This pitch bounces up to the catcher, Topping. Count even at 1-1. A lot of runs for the Crawdads today. Schmidt hits this on a line into left. That'll get down. The bases are now loaded once again for the Crawdads, and here comes Joey Donnelly up to bat.
So no cycle, but, 4 hits isn't bad.
4 for 6, not too shabby. So in this game, the Crawdads are up 16-3. But they had a game back on Wednesday, June 8th for Hill, and he makes the catch. 3 of them. It is now 16-3 Walnut Creek, bottom of the 9th. When we return, the Crawdads in pretty good shape to get their 19th victory of the summer and their 12th victory in CCL North play. There's going to be a new pitcher on the mound. We'll see who it is when we return here on the Crawdads streaming. Bottom of the 9th, Crawdads lead 16-3, and Austin, we're going to get a surprise here. There's a new pitcher on the mound, but it's a position player. It's Casey Cummings.
numbers on the season for Casey Cummings. Oh, wait, he hasn't pitched yet.
They're perfect.
Right, he's the best pitcher
He's
on the roster.
The best pitcher on the roster. Oh, Casey Cummings coming in with a 13-run lead.
I think he'll keep it.
I mean, manager Cummings does not want to use another pitcher, not now. And so Casey Cummings, who we're going to get a velocity reading on, talking to Alex Carnes, who's working the radar gun today for the Crawdads, and he's supposed to give us some numbers on Cummings. Not really sure what Casey has on the mound. I'm guessing fastball.
Yeah, I saw him talk out to Andrew McKenna.
For the Mudcats, the shortstop, number 12, Jared Wood.
So it's going to be Jared Wood, Kenny DeSalle, and Cole Santander, 1, 2, and 3, pending any pinch hits for the Mudcats, who are down by 13. Crawdads with 16 runs on 17 hits today, a couple of errors. First pitch here from Cummings, and boy, he's sending it up there with some velo. Well, misses high, though, count 1-0. The Mudcats, 3 runs, 6 hits, an error for them. Righty against righty. The 1-0 pitch is fouled away. Now the count is even, a ball and a strike. Cummings actually looks pretty good. The 1-1 pitch from Cummings misses high, and I believe, Mr. Osinoda, you have a velocity reading.
Can I get a little drum roll?
Yeah. What is it, Austin?
81 to 82.
Okay, that's actually pretty fast for a position player, as this pitch is taken out to left field, but foul down the left field line.
It does look a little harder than that.
It does.
He's no Jack Ben Shoshan out there on the mound, but first of all, who is?
Who is?
You know, he looks good.
Pitch here from Cummings, looking for a strikeout. Fouled away once again.
Casey Cummings gets a strikeout this inning. He's my player of the game.
You feel Nate Nordell might be sweating in the dugout right now, because I think he's in line to get it the way he came in and kind of shut things down. The 1-2 from Cummings, and this is hit high, foul into foul territory near first base, and it's caught by Brome on the dirt over near the fence that divides the field from the bullpen of the Mudcats. Nice athletic play from Brome. I know he's super speedy, but sometimes you forget just how he can track foul balls down here. In there for strike number 1, and there is a pinch hitter for Kenny DeSalle. It is Austin Menacini. 0-1 pitch is swung on a miss. The count 0-2. O2 pitch. This bounces up to McKenna. And the 1-2 swung on and missed. That's a strikeout for Casey Cummings on the pinch hitter, Menacini. 19th victory this summer for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. They're on board. At Jackie Robinson Memorial Field in Pasadena, California, the Conejo Oaks on top of the home team Arroyo Seco Saints, 8-2. Healdsburg, California. Final line score today, 16 runs, 17 hits, 2 errors for the Crawdads. Perkins was able to go 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 7. No runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. So for Nordell, that is a very positive sign. He looked great out of the bullpen today, was able to come in, pitch very effectively. Then the ball was turned over to Ben Clark, and then eventually Casey Cummings. But the Crawdads, with their 19th win of the season, they are now 12-6 in CCL North play, and Nate Nordell gets his second win of the season. He is now 2-0. On the other side, for the Mudcats, their starter, Brendan Morris went 5 innings, 7 hits, gave up 9 runs, all earned, 7 walks, 3 strikeouts, faced 29. So he will get the loss. And thought Morris pitched pretty well, but wheels kind of fell off in the 5th inning for the Mudcats, and the Crawdads just kind of jumped all over them. So on the season, Morris drops to 1-2. That was his 3rd loss of the summer. So once again, for Austin Oda, I'm along to say the Crawdads win 16-3 in a game that started at 4:55 and ended at 8:11. So the final time of game, 3 hours and 16 minutes, a bit of a long one, but that's all right. The Crawdads get the win. The Crawdads will be back at it tomorrow here from Vanden High School in Solano County, home of the Solano Mudcats, at 5 p.m. against these very same Mudcats, and then one on the road up in Healdsburg coming up on Thursday. We'll have that game as well. That'll be at Recreation Park at 6 p.m. against the first-place Packers, who look like they're on their way to a win tonight. So the Crawdads at least able to keep pace with your Crawdads in action. So for Austin Oda, I'm along to say thank you, everybody, for joining us, and have a wonderful